and Brewing and will be a finalist for our grand prize. Log on now, espnavl.com.
The can't-miss music event of the year is finally here.
Our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Featuring once-in-a-lifetime performances from the biggest superstars.
Live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. This Friday and Saturday night, starting at 10 p.m.
Watch on the CW app and CWTV.com. And listen on iHeartRadio.
Capital One is the proud partner of the iHeartRadio Music Festival for the 6th year in a row, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Dan Hans is here, host of the Around the NFL podcast, and now the NFL Power Rankings podcast. Each Tuesday on NFL.com, my Power Rankings column drops ranking every team. But is that enough? Not for me. I need more. So my friend Colleen Wolfe will join me on the Power Rankings podcast as I defend my rankings and break down why teams are ranked where they are. Catch a new episode of the Power Rankings podcast every Tuesday on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Better sleep gives you the energy you need to spend more time doing the things you love. Your sleep equipment helps you manage your sleep disorder and live a more active life, but it only works if you use it. Sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning, and SoClean is a helpful complement to your daily routine. Join over 2 million SoClean customers enjoying peace of mind. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Find out more at SoClean.com. Always follow the manufacturer's instruction. Prepayment required for risk-free trial. For contraindications and details, visit SoClean.com.
Summer's over, but that joint pain is still there. Time to do something. I want you to call QC Kinetics now. You've put it off long enough. It's time to get real, lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees and back and shoulder and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Regenerative medicine uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have done this, and they're living life to the fullest, pain-free. Don't assume the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Stop putting it off. Call now for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville, QC Kinetics. 828-333-9517.
This Saturday, iHeartRadio is proud to partner with the 2022 Global Citizen Festival, celebrating the worldwide movement of people taking action now to save our planet and end poverty. With live performances from Metallica, Charlie Puth, Jonas Brothers, Måneskin, Mariah Carey, Mickey Guyton, Rosalia, Usher, SZA, and more. Coming to you live from New York City and Accra, Ghana, this Saturday, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific. Listen exclusively on the Global Citizen channel with the free iHeartRadio app.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Christine Lisi. The NFL suspended Buccaneers receiver Mike Evans one game for his role in yesterday's altercation with Saints cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. He won't be allowed to return until after Sunday's game against the Packers. Evans does plan to appeal his suspension. 49ers quarterback Trey Lance having season-ending surgery on his broken right ankle today. The injury has a massive impact for Lance and the Niners, notes ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler.
It sets back a development plan that the 49ers had for what they believe is their franchise quarterback. So now he's going to go into year 3 having just a few starts under his belt. 2 this year, played minimal football last year as a rookie, and then, he obviously had the small sample size in college at North Dakota State.
Jeremy Fowler on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Jimmy Garoppolo resumes starting duties in San Francisco. Browns defensive end Jadeveon Clowney out Thursday night against the Steelers with an ankle injury. Police in Las Vegas say they're investigating a fan in the stands allegedly striking Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray amid celebrations of Arizona's overtime win yesterday against the Raiders.
Brought to you by Capital One Auto Navigator, where you can find a car, get pre-qualified instantly, and see your real monthly payment without impacting your credit score. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/Auto Navigator.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other, one scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into a Victory Monday.
J-E-T-S, baby!
Who that talking about beating them Bucks? Oh, it feels good. It feels good to have it on a Victory Monday. Brian Hall, Sports Freak Brian Hall, boss
It's just a winter day here
Miami
around Radio
Dolphins.
Ranch.
He's wearing his colors. It's pretty chipper around the old Radio Ranch today here in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can get in on the chat with us. Hey, is it a Victory Monday for you? We'll shout out your team. Just
100%.
hit us up.
Chuck them in the YouTube comments. If you're sad, tell us why you're sad.
Yep.
If you're happy, I guarantee you're not as happy as I am.
The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the Iheartradio app and brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Don't forget to check them out at AndersonNissan.com, and you can check them out at 629 Brevard Road. Don't forget to tell them that we sent you when you do your trade-in. They'll give you a $250 bonus on top of whatever your trade-in is worth. Hopefully it's worth a lot more than my trade-in was worth.
$7.
Yep. I got $257 on my trade with Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Go check them out on Brevard Road. It is a Victory Monday because yesterday we were at the Village Porch hanging out, having some brews, just watching some football.
Got to meet our buddy M. Bradley and his son, which was awesome.
Yep.
I always love seeing kids that are invested in sports as opposed to their phones.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, for whatever reason, anytime you see that, or I don't know if you feel the same way I do. I see a kid that's younger than 16 that's locked in on a football Sunday, and that's just a fantastic sight for me.
Absolutely. It does my heart some good to know that there are some degenerates in the wings waiting to take over.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I will tell you, if you saw me yesterday at about anything before 3:45, that was angry Jeremy. That was same old Jets Jeremy. Then I sent out a tweet that was a little not nice to head coach Robert Saleh, and I want my flowers because nothing went wrong from there on out.
Right.
I didn't take the tweet down either.
You got
didn't hide.
It was that little spur that actually led your team.
Oh, I
to
feel
victory.
very sure that somebody radioed down to Coach Saleh and said, hey, there's a big fat leprechaun that has said very bad things about you on Twitter. Could we possibly shut him up, please?
He has called you the worst coach in the world. And I think at one point you even said I would rather have Rich Kotite as my head coach.
I cannot be held responsible for things I said while the Jets were losing after a slew of domestic lights.
Absolutely. It was a fun day watching football yesterday down at the Village Porch. You can check us out there. Every Sunday we'll be there. Jeremy will be there till the bar closes.
Correct.
And
sometimes you might actually see me rally twice, yesterday.
I will hang out for afternoon games, and then old man's got to go CP by. But anyway, Brevard Road, Reynolds Village, North Asheville. Check us out and come see us. Come say hey. Even if you don't stick around to see the games, just let us know that you're out there doing stuff.
I mean, first of all, the food's fantastic.
Oh, it's great.
I ate 400 chicken wings.
Their mango habanero chicken wings are
they're so good
to die for.
I actually ate every meal that I ate yesterday at the Village Porch. All of them. 3.
Nice.
3 times.
Did you get something different every time to
I did.
sample the menu? Or
Cauliflower
did you just go,
wings.
Oh,
End of message, repeat the line.
I still haven't done that yet.
Oh, they're so good. They're so good, and it's actually not bad for you. And they taste like chicken wings. After 17 domestic lights, you can totally convince yourself that they are wings.
Indeed. It's a Victory Monday for the Jets and the Bucks. We got the Dolphins doing stuff. I mean, geez, Tua Tagovailoa. Have a day, young man. 6 touchdown passes.
We're going to throw out a trivia question. And in the YouTube comments, feel free to answer it. We will shout out the first one of you to get it correct. Who are the 3 leading passers in terms of passing yards in the NFL right now?
No cheating.
No cheating.
No cheating.
Tua Tagovailoa is the given
out of it.
because he threw for 11 jillion yards yesterday.
Yes, it was 496.
469.
469. That's getting my
them
numbers
flipped
mixed
in
up.
your old head.
Yep. We will talk about all of the action from yesterday. The big storylines: Trey Lance going down, Jimmy Garoppolo. Hey, see, we were smart all along. You should just hold on to Jimmy G. We got the Lions. Let's go, Dan Campbell.
Let's go, Ben Johnson. That offense is dynamic.
Oh yeah. God, I love that team.
We have our winner in the trivia question. Our resident Virginia Tech Hokie, Evan Doyle. The correct answer is Tua Tagovailoa at 1, Carson Wentz at 2, and 1, Mr. Joe Falco is 3.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh, yeah. Who didn't see that coming?
And according to PFF, he's number 1.
Of the quarterbacks that have played 2 games, he is the highest-rated quarterback in the NFL, according to PFF.
Nice,
which is infallible. That is is the correct.
That's the end-all, be-all. So he was cursing his name yesterday, and today
that was Angry Jeremy.
He's the best quarterback in the league.
Yep, that was Angry Jeremy. I'm not responsible for what he said.
Let's just all remember the great Mike White, Tom Brady 2.0. That lasted for a whole 2 games.
R.I.P. Mike White.
Now Joe Falco. Hopefully he won't get another chance.
And Ashton Davis, got to shout him out. Make the best of your opportunity, young fella. Play 1 snap in the entire game. Game-clinching interception.
That's right.
Let's go.
We'll get all the big headlines in the NFL over the next 3 hours. We'll do the daily draft up at the top of the 3rd hour, as we do always. Our stock up, stock down for the week. College and pro. Who's on the rise? Who's on the fall? We'll talk some Carolina Panthers as well. Yeah. Feeling like we're getting ever so close to that. Hey, Matt, why don't you go home?
Well, hey, Matt, how do you feel about corn? There's a song on the interwebs right now that we feel like you should be taking the mantra on.
You got 2 choices, Matt. You got 2 choices: corn or tortillas. There's a place out in the desert that you can go visit.
Tostitos. That is the home of.
Yeah, exactly.
That's in Tempe, not Phoenix, but
who cares?
I see what you did there.
Right. It's Tex-Mex food, Southwestern food.
Satisfied Browns fan, I'm really glad to see you here. I was afraid that you would shy away. I will be nice, I promise. He said, Jeremy, I said things about your team yesterday that were not Christian-like. And my response to that would be ditto. Me too. Look, Sunday is different than every other day. All right, we can line up and be best friends. And then on Sunday, we're rivals. Mm-hmm. We're rivals. We can share a domestic light together and enjoy the football. I am just glad to not be one of the 4 0-2 teams in the NFL right now.
Yes.
Statistically, you have an 11% chance to make the playoffs if you start 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Looking directly at you, Cincinnati Bengals.
I love that they threw up. Somebody threw up the stat the other day during one of the game broadcasts. Since the playoffs expanded, 18 teams have been 0-2 and not made the playoffs yet. We've done that for 2 years. Can we calm down? I feel like you need to have a little more time. They go, nobody's ever done it. Yeah, it's been twice. Can we calm down?
Never in the short history.
Yeah, the short history. Since 2020, way back in the day. I know we all feel like it's been 10 years since 2020, but it hasn't.
I've aged that much.
Yes.
But that's from treating my body like an amusement park.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
All right, so let's get into Victory Monday here, because there is one team who has a fan in this room who should feel really good about the win that happened yesterday.
Jets, Jets.
That's the one. I didn't know if that was obvious to everybody else. I'm feeling. Don't get me wrong. Pleased to snap the losing streak to the New Orleans Saints, but
You said more negative about Todd Bowles in 1 3-hour period than I've said about Robert Saleh in 2 years.
We'll get to that in just a second. But watching Jeremy flip out live in the Village porch over his Jets' miraculous comeback.
I watched that in public.
It was amazing.
With a Browns fan within shouting distance that did not pick up a fork and stab me with it.
Yeah.
Props to that guy. Did not catch his name.
Well, I mean, at this point, you're used to it, right? I mean, if you're a Browns fan, you're used to it. You're like, okay, let's just go home.
I mean, I feel like the Browns just look around and go, man, we put Elf in the middle of the field, and clownish things happened.
Brownie made his return, and then the Cleveland Browns brownied in their pants.
Browns gone brown.
The onside kick was a thing of beauty.
And look, name's on the door, so I can shout this out. Will Parks is the guy that's not getting nearly enough love. He knocked Amari Cooper off of this planet.
He did.
Of which, if you're a special teams coach in the NFL, onside kicks have become very difficult. So you tell that last gunner, kill whoever touches the ball. Don't even think about the ball. You have one objective: kill.
Mm-hmm.
Crown of the helmet, they're never going to call it. Just lay them out. I've seen 3 onside this weekend that were done correctly. 2 of them were recovered.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because that outside gunner went, I don't care about the ball. The ball could not be in existence, and I don't care.
Right. I have to separate man from ball.
And he did.
And I'm going to.
And he did.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Yesterday was a crazy day of comebacks.
Oh, absolutely.
With the Las Vegas Raiders. Just, absolutely. Check on your Raider fan friends. They're not okay.
They shouldn't be. Meanwhile, Stephen Towle, have we seen him yet? Is he president?
Oh, yeah, he's there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
just want to make sure. Want to make sure there's not some sort of a ledge with his toes hanging off.
No. He's just looking at the defense going, well, we undervalued how fast they are.
They were, they looked baffled. We'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about it. At some point, we'll talk about every game.
Yes.
Some of them probably not going to get a ton of attention, looking right at the Broncos and the Texans.
Yeah, Cleveland Browns, of obviously the Miami Dolphins coming back from the 21-point deficit. And Tua Tagovailoa just paying it off.
And before we go to commercial break, you have to pay something off.
Yes.
So usually I am the one that says things that I end up having to apologize for.
Uh-huh.
Well, somebody in our YouTube comments, they kept receipts.
Okay.
It is our resident Patriots fan, Mr. Bill Buttigieg, that said, when we beat the Steelers, I was the only one that had it. Just me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Not you.
Mm-hmm.
Not Chief Zach.
Nope.
Just me. Have to take my victories where I can get them. He's looking for that apology. He's looking for that. I was wrong.
I apologize. I was wrong.
wrong.
The New England Patriots can still beat bad teams in the NFL. I apologize.
Correct.
I did not think you were capable of doing said task, but Mitchell Trubisky will never let me down.
I feel like this has to be where you go to Kenny Pickett.
100%.
I mean, Mitch Trubisky has been horrendous for a game and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like a mediocre quarterback.
Right.
He looks like a backup quarterback.
I will fully admit I was wrong. Got it wrong. Look, nobody did real well picking games this week.
No.
Although I did beat the Chiefs. Oh, well, I mean, we got 2 games to go tonight, but I think I got it sewed up.
You do, because we all picked Buffalo.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So I am the champion for the week and beat the Chiefs at a wonderful 6-7 record right now.
You can get above 500.
I can. I still got the Minnesota Vikings tonight against y'all in the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, that's where it's all going to come tumbling after.
Yeah, maybe
for
so.
You.
Hey, I still made up ground, and I feel like that's a win. And it feels great on this Victory Monday here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
Summer's over, but that joint pain is still there. Time to do something. I want you to call QC Kinetics now. You've put it off long enough. It's time to get real, lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees and back and shoulder and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Regenerative medicine uses highly concentrated healing properties from your own body to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. And QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough natural approach to eliminating joint pain. Lots of people here have done this, and they're living life to the fullest, pain-free. Don't assume the old ways of dealing with joint pain are the only ways. Call QC Kinetics today. Stop putting it off. Call now for a free consultation. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and in Greenville, QC Kinetics. 828-333-9517.
You've got bugs. What's your move? A rattly can? Or a simple spritz? Bugs near your kids and pet? Will it be ingredients you can't pronounce? Ew. Or essential oils? Bother the bugs, not your family. Zevo uses essential oils, which attack bugs' biological systems, so Zevo kills bugs, plus is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo. People-friendly. Bug-deadly. Now at a store near you.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Victory Monday for the Jets. Bucks. Yay.
The Dallas Cowboys?
We're doing stuff.
How about them Cowboys?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
yeah.
Let me give you my analysis on that, because I had a lot of Cowboy fans that felt the urge to reach out. You're still bad. Michael Irvin can say anything he wants to. I do not care. You are still bad.
Yes, and so is Cincinnati.
I don't know what is happening with Cincinnati. It's like Cincinnati was Cinderella, and now we're at about 12:36, and now it's just a drunk guy looking for somebody that lost their shoe.
Oh yeah, we got we got the carriage turning back into pumpkins and the horses into mice and all of the things. It's not fun.
No, it's not
for Cincinnati right now. But I still feel like you've got the chance to turn some things around here. We got a couple of super chats from not Jeremy's cousin Colin. And Colin, thank you for the super chats, by the way, all the super chats in this month. go to Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project, as does the entries for our battle for the belt. Did we have a winner?
We'll have a winner tomorrow. I got to find out. A lot of people have names that don't tell me who they are.
Gotcha.
So I have to go on a fun scrounging around, see if your email lines up and tells me your name.
Gotcha. Colin says, yesterday was a very good day of football, as it was. A lot of teams won that I didn't even see coming. For example, the Cowboys defeating the Bengals. Much love. Keep up the great work and the content. Thank you, Colin. And you, too, can get in the Super Chat business. Have your comment highlighted right here on ESPN Asheville and, of course, on the YouTube stream. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel, and, that's easy as it gets.
Cooper Rush is not good at football.
He's not good at football.
And there are a lot of people that are falling for this. Well, the Cowboys. He's 2-0. Mm-hmm. You can put every bit of yesterday on Micah Parsons because he is that good.
Yes, he is terrifying.
He and Aaron Donald are the two best defensive players in the NFL. And I don't even think it's debatable. But the Bengals have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That offensive line, and I tried to tell you, you cannot tell me I did not try to warn you.
You did.
You got one great improvement. The rest of it was Walmart brand.
See,
it's an improvement. Okay, it's still not good.
I still believe that it was a market improvement. The talent that was brought in,
and you can say that with a straight face
anymore.
And you can say that with a straight face after yesterday.
No, something is wrong. Something is off. I don't know if it's the game
I'll tell you
plan.
Exactly what it is. It's not hard to figure out.
I don't know if it's Joe Burrow holding on to the ball too long.
Joe Burrow has no shot. Joe Burrow gets to the top of a drop, and there is somebody in his face. He is never on balance. I don't care how good you are. When you're running for your life, that's what that's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
There is one person to put this on, and it's the same person I tried to tell you a year ago.
Zach Taylor.
He is not a good NFL head coach.
Mm-hmm.
The play calling is mind-bogglingly bad. Mind-bogglingly bad. And when you could make Joe Burrow look, I'm not even going to say average. He was the definition of league average yesterday.
Yeah.
But he has looked bad through 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like it gets a ton easier. Now, you play at the Jets this week. Soon to be AFC East Super Bowl representative New York Jets. Let's go.
Hey, you beat them last year.
In New York. With a backup quarterback.
R.I.P. Mike White.
R.I.P. Jets, because I have a feeling this is going to be one of those where they go, Jamar Chase 57 times. But I mean, after that, you go Dolphins, Ravens, Saints, a Falcons team that looks exponentially better than we thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
That's a daunting schedule. So the things that you have awry here, you're going to have to figure out pretty quick. Or this season's going to be over before it started.
Right.
I would make the argument there is no team in the NFL that has to win this week more than the Cincinnati Bengals.
Just for narrative's sake or because their season's over?
Your season's over. You lose to the Jets, your season is over before it began. And we'll talk about the AFC North later in this hour. There are weird things happening in that division. We compared them to the AFC West. They're not even in the neighborhood of the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with Denver being alive. I'm trying my best to say nice things.
Yeah,
I don't have many.
No. They don't look good either.
I mean, you're at a point with Cincinnati, I can't really find anything that you're actually doing well.
Mm-hmm. But the Cowboys, I mean, that's why they won yesterday, because of the defense, much like my Buccaneers. The only reason you won that game was because your defense came up with some interceptions and takeaways.
And the check that cleared to the officials. I mean, that certainly helped.
Stop that.
You ever notice Tom Brady gets every break?
Of course he does.
He never fails to get a break.
Of course he does. It's good to be the GOAT.
I do sound effects. That's a me thing. Sound effects and impressions.
Well, you weren't doing it,
jokes.
so I had to do it.
Yeah, because I'm not doing that with Tom Brady. No. Okay.
I mean, 5 takeaways. Just back to back to back to back to back to back. Jameis Winston finally showed up in that game. I mean, you said, Devin White became ultimately unlikable because of him saying that we knew Jameis Winston was going to show up eventually.
It wasn't just that.
That's facts.
It was really you have the most unlikable team, I think, in the NFL. It's just hard to really like you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mike Evans coming to defend this guy.
Yep.
What exactly was he defending him from? Tom's the one that turned around. That was, to me, and maybe this is because I'm the big guy in the room and I've been roped into enough of what I'm getting ready to say. That struck me as like the you friend. The little guy that's not going to throw a punch, that says something that just incenses somebody. And then they go to their big buddy and go, get him.
Get him.
Get him.
We don't know. We don't know what transpired there. All we know is that
Tom was pouty Tom, which is why he takes a tablet to the sideline and slams it like a 4-year-old.
No one gets under Mike Evans' skin more than Marshawn Lattimore. And Lattimore had been his usual self, disruptive all day long. They get physical with each other over and over again, and it just gets to a point where you've had too much. Now, you can't do that. This is having a conversation with your toddler back in the locker room. Like, really?
And I'll be honest with you, the NFL was too light on him. And I firmly believe that. The NFL, because it's not the first time he's done something like this.
Mm-hmm. It's always Marshawn.
And I don't care who it is. That's part of what Marshawn Lattimore does, is he gets under your skin. If you remember, he did the same thing to DK Metcalf. And DK looked like he didn't belong in high-level high school football, let alone the NFL.
Right. DK threw a punch on him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's uncalled for you to go and blindside a guy like that. And I don't know if he thought that he had hit Brady or what. There are certain times where I'm like, you stand up for your quarterback if he's taking a shot. Like Ryan Jensen. Ryan Jensen was notorious for this. Somebody getting Tom Brady's face, Ryan Jensen was having none of it. But I always felt like it came from a good place.
This didn't
Mike
come from
Evans
a good place.
did not. Mike Evans was so upset that Marshawn has done it to him again and will continue to do it over and over and over again, that he had too much.
I have never been less impressed with a 2-0 team than I am with your Bucs.
I would agree.
In my life, I have never been less impressed.
We were watching that game all day yesterday. I mean,
some of the things you said about you hated Todd Bowles. I almost felt like I was talking to a Jets fan.
Right.
By the end of
because
that.
I am so done with this awful offense that we are running right now. Just hand the ball to Leonard Fournette on the first 2 downs, brings up 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8 every time. And then maybe we'll get it. Maybe we'll get it with the receivers that we don't have right now.
We used to call this is a Star Wars reference. It's one of the only ones you will ever hear me make. We used to call the Todd Bowles offense R2P2. Run, pass, punt. That's what it is every single time. It's already under Brady's skin.
Mm-hmm.
Brady was week 16 fiery in a week 2 game that you were really never challenged defensively.
Right.
I think New Orleans could have played 8 quarters. They probably would have never scored more than 20 points because it was bad Jameis.
Yep.
That's the thing we have talked about. The one thing that can hurt New Orleans is when bad Jameis shows up. And yesterday, he was in full effect.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Orlovsky did the full telestrator. It can't take the check down. And I'll be honest with you, that was my one fear with New Orleans. Because Dennis Allen is not going to deal with this. That defense played well for the majority of the game. Now, once Marshawn Lattimore went away, that kind of
as is
it
to
was
be expected.
less.
Yeah, I mean, you took the emotional leader off the field. So, yeah, the defense is going to take a hit after that. But this is not good. Just because we're 2-0 doesn't mean that this is, Super Bowl championship written. Like next week, we get the Green Bay Packers. And I get that it's at home and all that. I don't care. They are going to run the ball down our throats because for some reason, we just forgot how to defend the run. It's going to be a fun week.
Oh, and there's more. After the break, I'll tell you about that.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, this week feels like summertime with the numbers cruising towards the upper 80s in the forecast by midweek. It's like we've stepped back to summertime, even though the official start to fall is coming up Thursday. 61 degrees our low tonight with 50s in the mountains. Sunshine Tuesday, warm afternoons, high 85 degrees. Wednesday, 87. That'll be the warmest day this week. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Brakes for Less.
Brakes for Less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. It doesn't matter what kind of car you got. Call 888-261-STOP. All we do are Brakes for Less.
Better sleep gives you the energy you need to spend more time doing the things you love. Your sleep equipment helps you manage your sleep disorder and live a more active life, but it only works if you use it. Sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning, and SoClean is a helpful complement to your daily routine. Join over 2 million SoClean customers enjoying peace of mind. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Find out more at SoClean.com. Always follow the manufacturer's instruction. Prepayment required for risk-free trial. For contraindications and details, visit SoClean.com.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com. The Iheartradio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for a grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It is time to get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It was a fun weekend of football. Saturday, not as much as Sunday, although there were
Saturday
some
was
highlights.
the worst day of college football in the history of the sport.
There were some highlights, including those Appalachian State Mountaineers avoiding ridicule for losing to Troy
at home.
After
with game day there.
After you had game day show up because you pulled off the big upset the week before against Texas A&M on the road. They almost let it happen. Troy had the lead, and then a 56-yard Hail Mary ended the ball game. Appalachian State comes out victorious 32-28. The kids stormed the field. Everybody was having a good old time, except for a few people, because apparently in the melee, in the bum rush to the field at Kidd Brewer Stadium, apparently several people got trampled and suffered broken bones in the melee. Look, guys, I get you're excited, okay? But you got to contain your emotions a little bit. Just like players, Mike Williams, have to control their emotions, Houston wide receivers, you got to control.
Oh, by the way, just since you said Houston receivers, there's something I'm supposed to say there. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby! It's the only thing that kept this weekend from being bad.
You got to try to control your emotions as much as possible. For not only the image of your school, but for the safety of your classmates. I mean, geez. And then yesterday, more fan conduct making the news. Apparently, Las Vegas police are now investigating after somebody got in the line where Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray was giving high fives going out of after the game, after that amazing comeback, and somebody smacked him in the face. Like, that takes stones.
Well, I mean, Kyler Murray's like 4'6".
I mean, they're gonna find out who this was.
Oh, no doubt.
This is not good. I mean, you just can't have that. You cannot have fans putting their hands on players in that kind of a manner. But some Raiders fan is about to be barred for life from any NFL stadium. He didn't hurt him. It's not like he, completely smacked the taste out of his mouth. I'm sure he probably would have if he'd have got the opportunity. But still, control your emotions, fans.
Speaking of controlling your emotions, there was a former NFL head coach on the sidelines during your Bucs-Saints game, and that led to a lot of Twitter confusion. Well, apparently the reason Bruce Arians was on the sideline, the Saints did not give them a booth to put their coaches in. That's apparently where Bruce Arians will usually be, is up high with the offensive play call staff.
Right.
He is not a member of the staff per se.
No, he is a special assistant or special advisor to the GM.
There's also nothing that precludes him from being on the sideline.
Right.
According to Pro Football Talk, there is not really anything the NFL can do about that. If he is considered part of the franchise, he is allowed on the sideline. However, some Twitter sleuths have noticed that Bruce Arians was the closest person to Mike Evans before he made a beeline for Marshawn Lattimore.
Yes, he was.
There is also a video. I am not a lip reader, but it appears that Bruce Arians might have been the one that told Mike Evans to go get him in reference to Marshawn Lattimore. And now the NFL has opened an official investigation into this. They're going to find out.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do anything on an NFL sideline without something catching you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a funny feeling this is one of those stories that you remember the fight in Tampa Bay? Yeah, Bruce Arians is not allowed on the sideline anymore.
Right.
Because that was an ugly look.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird that he was on the sideline anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend much time on this, but does that not make you feel less good about Todd Bowles? The fact that you're in game 2 and now Bruce Arians is still here for some reason?
Well, I mean, he was always going to be here. He was going to be there in an advisory role. He's not going to be on the sidelines probably after this
I don't like his chances.
But what I'm saying is if this hadn't happened, he probably wouldn't have been on the sidelines for any other game anyway. He would have been in the booth. They didn't give him a booth. He was just like, I'll go down on the sideline. It'll be fine.
Not fun.
It was not fun because there is deep-seated history there between the Bucs and the Saints, and B.A. didn't like it. And so B.A. was jawing at Marshawn Lattimore because Lattimore was barking at him. And I don't know where you could possibly go with it. I find it hard to believe that even if that's what was said, like I said, I haven't seen the video. I'm not a lip reader.
Well, the NFL, there's something on that tape because the NFL has taken down every reference of it.
Well, even if he did say, go get him, I doubt that he was saying go and blindside him and get your ass kicked out of the next game, because that's dumb.
Well, and here's the problem.
But it might have been
prove that.
Go get Tom, or that might have been what he meant. I find it hard to believe that Bruce Arians would do that. But
I don't find that hard to believe.
You don't find it hard to believe at all?
Not even kind of.
Because he knows. He knows what the response is going to be.
There are a handful of coaches in the history of the NFL that I could hear them say, go get them, and I would immediately, yeah, that's Bruce Arians. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Right. I don't know. I don't know what was said. If it was, then absolutely he needs to be barred from the sidelines no more. The thing that ticked me off about it was I noticed early in the game that B.A. was on the sidelines.
So did everybody else. They showed him no less than 50 times.
And the thing that ticked me off about it was at no point did he walk over, rip the headset off of Todd Bowles' head, and go, this is mine again. You've been a bad boy. You need to go sit.
Yeah.
Because I wanted that to happen so badly, and it never did.
I believe
this. You told me.
Somebody tried to tell you that. Just make sure.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
I know.
I'm not right about everything.
Trust me, folks. He reminded me of that every time I cursed Todd Bowles yesterday, and it was a bunch of, I tried to tell you. Oh, welcome to the Jets fan club.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jet fans that we feel the same way you do.
Yeah, I'm completely Seacrest out on Todd Bowles. I didn't like the hire when they made it, and it is what it is.
There are a few people in this life that know Todd Bowles better than I do, and the vast majority of them have the last name Bowles.
See, and I feel like if they were smart, they would go, we made a boo-boo. Todd, you can go back to defense. We now have a new head coach, and it's Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It needs to happen. That's all I'm saying. The AFC North, everybody lost yesterday.
Correct. They have 2 wins that are not against each other, and it's against the Jets and the Panthers.
And I don't even kind of start to understand how that happened. I mean, like, I know I watched the games, and I've seen all the stats and all the things, but how does that happen?
There's no team in that division that's as good as we thought they were. Period.
Yeah.
And this is not an overreaction. There is not one team in that division that is as good as we thought they were.
Well, this is true. I mean, Cleveland's obvious because there's no Deshaun Watson.
Cleveland looks undisciplined. I mean, there's a false narrative that, you got Nick Chubb wrong, because I said I really had no interest in Nick Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the fourth quarter, he had 7 fantasy points. Congratulations. He had not been good. He had been bottled up, and the Jets' defense just got worn out.
Mm-hmm.
He broke a couple big runs in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden it looks like it was a good day.
Right.
That Browns offense is painful to watch.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, we knew. We knew the Pittsburgh Steelers were not going to be as good as we thought they were, or as good as they had been, because the culture. I mean, the culture's the same, but you got different players.
Yeah,
now.
we didn't know that because we actually largely said Mitch Trubisky's an improvement over Ben Roethlisberger. And I believe he is, but it's not by much.
No.
And without T.J. Watt, where you cannot heat up a quarterback, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the line is almost unspeakably bad. Can't get anything going offensively. Chase Claypool is like the forgotten man.
Mm-hmm.
George Pickens has a catch through 2 weeks. Pittsburgh's just not good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. Like, I mean, the culture, Mike Tomlin, all of those things, I understand that. I could make an argument that outside of the Browns who they play this week, which, by the way, that's the Thursday night game that we get to that we all get to enjoy so rightly.
Please start Kenny Pickett in that game.
I could make an argument they may not win another game until Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
This could be one of the 3 worst teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Because I still don't believe in New England. I mean, good for you. You got to win in what was, without a doubt, the most unwatchable NFL game I have ever seen.
Yes.
There was nothing to script that happened the entire game. And I'm to the point of I don't know why you don't go with Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have anything to lose.
No.
You're going to get slaughtered by the Bills. You will get slaughtered by the Bucks and the Dolphins and the Eagles. I think the Saints are going to eviscerate you. I don't know why you don't do it.
I don't know about that.
I do. The Saints are a team that people are jumping off ledges about.
Mm-hmm.
You kept Tom rather in check. The defense is fine.
Defense is fine.
You got to get it into Jameis's head. Bad Jameis cannot appear.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Jameis shows up again, and Andrew Dalton will be our starting quarterback.
Right, but by that point, will T.J. Watt be back? And if T.J. Watt's back, then he's getting pressure on Jameis, and then you got that secondary picking him off.
The secondary is not good. And that's the bad thing. You look at every level of this Pittsburgh Steelers team, there's nothing on it that's good. I mean, yeah, you have playmakers. You don't have a line.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a point man to get the ball to the playmakers. They're just a nondescript, really boring team to watch.
Yeah.
And I feel like Kenny Pickett's coming quicker than we could have ever imagined.
The real surprises of they're not as good as we thought they were, the anti-Dennis Greene, it's the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Both of these teams have major problems. I mean, if they're going
the thing I wasn't prepared for is how bad the Ravens secondary has been.
Yeah, if they're going to try to make a run at a Super Bowl, either one of these teams, they got to get some stuff figured out real quick. We'll talk about it up next here on ESPN Asheville.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Doug. Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it!
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The can't-miss music event of the year is finally here.
Our 2022 Iheartradio Music Festival.
Featuring once-in-a-lifetime performances from the biggest superstars.
Live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. This Friday and Saturday night, starting at 10 p.m.
Watch on the CW app and CWTV.com. And listen on iHeartRadio.
Capital One is the proud partner of the Iheartradio Music Festival for the 6th year in a row, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can and kick ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
Back live in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Check them out at 629 Brevard Road. And the Bengals and the Ravens are just – what I saw yesterday baffled me, and I know it did everybody else. How do you, as supposedly the most terrifying offense in all of football, go down to Dallas and do that?
That's what happens when you cannot block a pass rusher like Micah Parsons. It's just the way it goes. But I'm going to be honest with you, and this is going to sound weird when I say it. I'm not overly worried about either one of those teams.
I know
the Zach Taylor effect in Cincinnati worries me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore just needs to get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You need Ronnie Stanley back badly.
Yes.
You need J.K. Dobbins back badly. Mike Davis and Kenyon Drake combined had 11 carries for 12 yards yesterday.
Ugh.
You want to know how that happens? Because you can't run.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of Lamar Jackson, you take away the 80-yard run. The other 25 carries in that game, they averaged 3 yards a rush. That's putridly bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you lose close games, because you can't salt the clock away. I told sports freak Brian Hall earlier today, watching Greg Roman, I swear to you, if they would have agreed, we'll just take 3 minutes off the clock and you kick it right back to Miami, I think he would have accepted it.
Right. Last year, remember, Miami pulled off the win against Baltimore, but it was because they were able to make Lamar Jackson pretty much irrelevant.
He was not irrelevant.
He was not irrelevant.
He was phenomenal.
He was so good. And I thought, there's no chance. And then the secondary just fell apart. And I get that they're banged up, and Marcus Peters playing for the first time in a year, and who was it that got hurt? Somebody got hurt in the game. I don't remember. Anyway, I know that they're banged up. But, I mean, there were times where they were just – they didn't look like a team. Like, there was pointing fingers, and they were jawing at each other. I think there was one time where Marcus Williams and one of the other secondary members, like, it looked like they were ready to throw Kyle Hamilton off a bridge.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton's career has not started it has not been great.
Right. The rookie from Notre Dame, said to be the best player in this draft class, has not had a good start to the year. You cannot allow that to happen. You cannot have a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter and let it go.
Well, the Ravens have a couple very basic problems. One, you can't get close to a quarterback. I said in the preseason, you do not have the edge rusher that you can really count on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe David Ojabo comes in as that. I find that to be rather unlikely. You don't consistently get pressure without bringing extra blitzers. Now, I trust John Harbaugh, and I trust that this will get fixed. I also will say Lamar Jackson is on a mission of, you better show up with wheelbarrows full of money, because that's what it's going to take. And without me, you are absolutely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he had to walk away from yesterday going, well, I did my job.
Right.
Everybody else, you probably should introspectively look at yourself in the mirror and go, did I do my job?
Huge plays all over the place. Rashad Bateman with the big touchdown. Devin Duvernay returning kicks for touchdowns. There's a lot to love about this Baltimore Ravens team. It's one of the reasons that I picked them to win the Super Bowl this year. But that prognostication goes completely out the window when I see you collapse like that at the end of a game.
Well, and the thing you got to say, there are not a lot of teams that can bring potent wide receivers like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
No doubt.
So there was a mixture of, you thought this game was over. With, I would wager you probably didn't think Tua Tagovailoa could beat you that way.
And
flowers to him.
And he did. Good for him.
Yeah, flowers to him. You know how much it changed my opinion of him?
0.
It's not 0.
Okay, good.
It's a number more than 0, but not much. It's not much. Now, if he can play like that, I feel like we're understating the fact that through 3 quarters, he wasn't particularly good.
No.
Everybody seems to be forgetting that. Oh, but that fourth quarter, he was great. Okay, why? Whatever it was you figured out in that fourth quarter with Tua Tagovailoa, you need to bottle that.
Yeah.
You need to bottle that and keep doing it.
Yeah, it's time to show that you can do that on a consistent basis and not be these, this cardiac arrest team that has to have these miraculous comebacks to win games.
Well, I've always had a philosophy about Alabama quarterbacks with Nick Saban, and it comes from something I heard Greg McElroy, now a commentator for ESPN, but he played for the Jets. And basically what he said was that Nick Saban is so neurotic that you can have these games where you go out and win 59-3, and yet he's still in the quarterback's locker after the game talking about the one thing you didn't do right.
Yes.
And so it makes these guys so neurotic, and you can't do that in the NFL. In the NFL, you have to have what? Short memory.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to take that the error of the last drive and put it away. And for the first time in his career, I actually saw Tua do that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that had gone wrong in the first three quarters, that just went away. Played a little looser, and maybe that's a Mike McDaniels thing. Maybe this is a match made in heaven. He fits the system. McDaniel is good enough to get in his head and keep these things from really careening him off a cliff. But I'm going to have to see it more than once before I really believe that.
I agree. I would love to see it again. Like I said, I've never given up on Tua, and I finally saw a little spark yesterday. Show me you can keep it up, and then maybe we'll talk about marking that as a win for the old tanker. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. When we come back for the break, how about them Carolina Panthers?
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, this week feels like summertime with the numbers cruising towards the upper 80s in the forecast by midweek. It's like we've stepped back to summertime, even though the official start to fall is coming up Thursday. 61 degrees our low tonight with 50s in the mountains. Sunshine Tuesday, warm afternoons, high 85 degrees. Wednesday, 87. That'll be the warmest day this week. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
You can't get much for $5 these days. Unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Don't miss the Energy Savings Event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool. Selection varies by location. Exclusions apply. Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9/28.
Decisions. Not easy. Listening to the NFL Podcast Network on the free iHeartRadio app. Now that's an easy decision. The NFL is back, and only the free iHeartRadio app can get you inside the game with exclusive podcasts from NFL Network. Get inside the huddle. Get inside the play call.
Go bunch right, Zach.
Get inside the locker room.
What the? Get out of here.
Okay, not that part of the locker room. Oh, and it's all free. Download the free iHeartRadio app now and experience the NFL season like never before.
iHeartRadio. From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeartRadio station.
One game for his role in yesterday's altercation with Saints cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. He won't be allowed to return until after Sunday's game against the Packers. Evans does plan to appeal the suspension. 49ers released a statement that quarterback Trey Lance underwent successful surgery today on his broken right ankle. With Lance out the rest of the season, Jimmy Garoppolo resumes starting duties while Lance is out. And turning to Jimmy G this season, not necessarily a bad thing for San Francisco, according to ESPN's Ryan Clark.
If you're the San Francisco 49ers, although you wanted to get Jimmy G out of there, you hope to get something in the trade. This is just a lucky happenstance. Now with Trey Lance out, you saw the immediate impact of Jimmy G being comfortable, being able to get the ball to Ayuk, get the ball out to Deebo Samuel, and this team now has a chance, even with a quote-unquote backup.
Browns defensive end Jadeveon Clowney ankle injury out Thursday night against the Steelers. Police in Las Vegas say they're investigating allegations a fan in the stands yesterday struck Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray in the face amid celebrations of Arizona's OT win over the Raiders.
When it comes to hiring, you don't need to be doing all the searching, screening, and interviewing yourself. What you need is Indeed, the end-to-end solution that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy here in the Ingles Studio, heard everywhere on the Iheartradio app. Take us with you everywhere you go. And, of course, locally, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You can also see us everywhere you go. Just use your smartphone. Go to the YouTube channel, and you can join the chat by subscribing to the channel. Get all the alerts when we go live each and every Sunday morning, 10 a.m.
A very feisty Sunday morning show this week.
Yeah.
And there'll be another one. If you join our Patreon, you will have access to my weekly fantasy rankings, which will answer every question. And sometimes you get things right, like Amon St. Brown. Sometimes you get things wrong.
Like Nick Chubb.
I didn't get that wrong for 50 minutes. I was exactly right for 50 minutes.
Except for the whole Kareem Hunt thing.
And then Kareem Hunt had a decent game.
He was all right.
Usage just wasn't as high as I thought.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to predict things in the NFL. Nobody saw that coming.
But now there's something that wasn't hard to predict in the NFL.
Yeah, Matt Rule losing another close game.
And Baker Mayfield is every bit as bad as I tried to tell you, and I tried my damnedest to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And all those, and look, people talk about keeping receipts. I don't keep receipts. All right, it goes in one ear, out the other. I talk about sports for a living. I have a smoke show of a wife. My life is very good. So your mean little tweets, they don't affect me. However, I would really love to hear a Panther fan tell me I was wrong. Through 2 weeks, how many quarterbacks in the NFL have a lower quarterback rating than Baker Mayfield?
None.
You want to hear the list again? Because that was it. I can just keep doing it. He's been worse than Justin Fields.
Who actually won a game.
He didn't mean to. They had 48 yards passing last night.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is better than Baker Mayfield. That end of message. Repeat the line. You want to know what the problem with this team is? It's not hard to figure out. You gave up draft capital for a quarterback that every team in the league looked at and went, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. You couldn't give him to me. I don't care how much he makes. I don't care about any of it. He is bad. And now you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, and you take it unfortunately or not unfortunately, it ain't getting any better anytime soon.
But what is going to get better?
Matt Rule will not be the head coach of this team. And I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to figure out exactly when it happens. I have a belief, but you're not going to like it.
Okay.
After the second Falcons game.
Oh, so they're going to let him go that long.
I could count on one hand the number of times that a coach in the NFL has been fired inside of 6 games in a season.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, be honest with yourself. You have no shot of not being 0-6. None. Could you maybe beat Kyler Murray? Maybe. I'm going to lean to no.
Yeah, after what I saw yesterday, I don't think so.
That was, to me, more of a Raiders collapse than it was I didn't change much of how I feel about the Cardinals.
Hey,
I still have 5'4" Kyler Murray that's having to jump to see over the line.
That's fine.
I'll pass.
Kyler still can make some plays every now and then, and they'll win some games.
I'll tell you.
It won't be a lot of games, but they'll win some games.
The Carolina Panthers haven't won a game at home in over a year.
Yeah. They are now on the NFL's longest losing streak of 9 games in a row. And to me, that's the record we're going by. We're 0-2 to start the season. No, we're 0-9 since the last time we won a game. That's the record that I'm more interested in. And that would spur me to make this just all end Make it all end. I mean, I don't want him hanging around for the rest of the season. And I know no other Panther fan does either. Like, give us somebody else to hate. If anything else, David Tepper, just give us somebody else to drag through the mud. Let us do this with Ben McAdoo for the next 16 games or 15 games.
And I would say he's as much a part of your problem as anybody is.
Probably.
The offense is, I mean, look, I don't want this team to be bad. I like a lot of people in this organization. I know a lot of people in this organization. The offensive play call is mind-numbingly bad. I mean, you almost have to do it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see it getting any better.
No, it's not going to get any better. Things like that start at the top for me. And it's the chutzpah to go out there and win close games. Be cerebral. Just finish it off. You've seen that so far. 2 straight weeks by the team that you just lost to. Brian Daboll has got this team bought in. Are they good? No, they're not. Do they have some bright spots? Sure. But in the last 2 weeks, you've seen this team. Sure, they got lucky because Tennessee missed the field goal at the end of the game, but going for 2 on the touchdown to take the 1-point lead, putting pressure on the other team, that's all part of this process. You ever think Matt Rule's going to do something like that?
No.
You think Matt Rule is going to have these guys all jazzed up and ready to go? No. And then you saw it this past weekend. New York Giants, they're just the tougher team. Carolina is just Charmin soft right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and look at the Giants. I like how you said that. You want to know how quick this can turn? Look at the team you just lost to.
Mm-hmm.
They were as listless as they came. They had the same thing. They hated the coach. They complained about the coach every single week. They complained about the GM every single week.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a top-down overhaul. And that's what Carolina has to do. And I'll be honest with you, I will ride this until I am proven wrong. Your next coach is the guy that replaced the guy that you just lost to. Ken Dorsey is the next head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know how it doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because where you made the mistake here, first of all, going to college almost never works.
Right.
You can give me Jimmy Johnson, just understand that when he was hired, I was not born yet. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
You try to bring in this program builder, and the way you communicate with NFL athletes and the way you communicate with college players is exponentially different. And when you try to do it that way, what happens? Exactly what you saw yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Completely listless. Completely listless. And the thing I cannot figure out to save my life, how is the running game not getting more tote than it is? I feel like an elementary school child can watch this team and go, well, the more the ball's not in Baker's hands, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say this for the umpteenth time. The minute Sam Darnold is healthy enough to play, he will be.
Yeah.
Because remember, there was a big fat leprechaun that tried to tell you he's better than Baker Mayfield, and it's not all that close.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, you gotta do more. You gotta show me more. His QBR in yesterday's game, Baker Mayfield, was 16.
That's not good.
No, I feel like that's hard to do. You almost have to try to make it that low.
He's terrible. He's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good thing is there's at least talent on this team. The pantry is not bare.
No.
And look, we're doing power rankings tomorrow. I hate to break this to you. I'll unveil my first one right now. That's the worst team in the NFL, and I don't know that it's all that close.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it's all that close.
You are already
the only reason it's even debatable is because the Chicago Bears still exist.
Mm-hmm.
They had 48 yards passing last night. I'm going to say that a whole mess of times.
And who didn't see that coming?
Yeah, if you lost a parlay last night because you had the Bears in the money line, you deserved that.
Absolutely.
I saw that twice on Twitter.
Did you really?
Like, You should bet less.
Yeah, how
you
did
should.
you think
know
that
those
was gonna
safe gambler things that you hear of. If you have a problem, you should call Blankety Blake number. You should call that number because you are bad at this and you should do it way less.
Right. Graham Gano once again shoving it back into Panthers' faces. I feel like this is the third time that he's now done this. Kicked a game-winning field goal against his former team. You got to take your hats off to the New York Giants. I mean, they're 2-0, and they're going to be 4-0. I feel pretty certain about that.
Yes.
I feel pretty certain about that.
Well, you got 2 more games at home, and it's against the Cowboys and the Bears.
Right.
The only thing that scares me about that is there's 2 ways that this will go. Cowboys and the Giants, which is your Monday night football game this week. Primetime, you didn't get any favors.
No. Cooper Rush.
Because it's the Broncos and the 49ers on Sunday night football. That meaty portion of the schedule, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Maybe take your wife on a date during the primetime games. Show up with some flowers. Go to a lovely restaurant.
It'll be fun for Jimmy G fans. See, I told you.
But there's only 2 ways this can go. Either the Giants win and the Cowboy fans just lose their minds of, oh, we're bad again. Man, you're a seesaw.
Mm-hmm.
You are the most fun seesaw in the world. Or the Cowboys go in there and win. And you have to hear about Cooper Rush and how great Cooper Rush is. And this team is really galvanized under the ginge.
Right.
Mike Morgan had a great point. Why is every Cowboy backup redheaded? Like, does Jerry Jones have a – I feel like he's one injury away from calling
they had
me.
the red rifle.
Andy Dalton. Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush.
Interesting. Maybe something to that. Didn't Brad Johnson, he qualifies, doesn't he? Doesn't he have a red hair?
Not really.
I tried. I was going to say
He's
he was
probably
the backup
like me.
for Dallas.
Yeah, he's probably like me. I have red facial hair. And
right.
The hair on my head is in no way red.
The Panthers are awful.
Awful.
And I am so sorry to say that. I mean, I know you don't believe it. I know you don't believe it because, I'm Mr. Tampa Bay fan. But I have said many, many times, there is a soft spot in my heart for the hometown team.
I want this team to be good.
I want you to be good. I want my team and your team to be just bashing it out for division titles year after year. I want there to be a rivalry here. But there's just not. They're not good.
No, I mean, and you're going to have a complete culture change. The good thing is, like I said, you do have the tenets of a good roster. But I'm going to say something. All right, so you fire Rule.
Mm-hmm.
You do realize how much worse this can actually get, right? Ben McAdoo is one of 5 coaches I've ever seen that's actually worse than Matt Rule.
Yeah. This is the one time where I'm going to live by the Jeremy Greene rule of you want to be bad, bad. I want be the worst team in the league. Just still have your defense out there. Let Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold just lead you to ultimate futility this year. Let's fire Matt Rule. Let's get that off our chest. And we can do the Nebraska thing where we fire a new coach every week. Did you see that?
Yeah, the defensive
coordinator from Nebraska got fired.
Well, here's the thing. As somebody that might have had a slip or two that said Nebraska plus 12.5, you remember that thing I said a couple weeks ago where 3 minutes into a game you go, I didn't do this in a good way.
Yep.
That was where I was at.
Yeah.
Because Nebraska came out and scored, and all right.
Now, can Nebraska plus 12? Can that now take the place of Jets plus 7?
No.
Oh.
Because sadly enough, Nebraska lost by less than the Jets did when you picked them. But I took back Jets plus 7. That's mine. You can't take it from me. It's mine.
You did. Good for you. But yeah, let's just get, appease the fans one little piece at a time. Go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off with Matt Rule. We'll turn it over to a different guy every week. I don't care. Let's be 0-17 and let's get Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, whichever one you feel is going to be the guy, because that's what this team is missing. You're missing the quarterback. Go all in. Be bad. Get the quarterback. Do you remember what happened the last time you did that? You got Cam Newton. You got to a Super Bowl. You got an MVP. Now, hopefully, the next one has a little more longevity than Cam Newton did, but please, dear God, be bad. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow in 240 westbound eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction, and George's Branch Road. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sandhill Road to Pond Road. Traffic is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound at I-40. The traffic lights are working incorrectly. Use caution here. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
I did a site visit, and the space is absolutely incredible.
Este's Reiki Clinic is opening another studio across town.
But there's a lot to wrap up.
But staffing an entire office requires more than just deep breathing.
Receptionist and at least 4 new practitioners.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for a grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Well, the Carolina Panthers may be the worst team in the league. To me, that's still debatable. I still think it's the Bears, but they do have a win, and the Panthers do not.
Well, the Panthers and the Bears would be the most unwatchable 60 minutes in the history of the NFL.
Do we get that coming up later on this year?
Thankfully, we don't.
I'm surprised that's not a primetime game. Look, the Panthers may be the worst team in the league. Just be bad. Be bad, get that number 1 pick. I would have said the same thing to the Atlanta Falcons at the beginning of the season. After 2 games, though, I mean, they're still bad. They're still not good. But
I don't know.
They're at least scary.
I don't know.
I feel about the Atlanta Falcons through 2 games of this season like I did about the Detroit Lions last year. And we'll get to the Lions later, don't worry. But this is a team that, they're going to go out there. They're going to play you tough. They're never going to give up, and who knows? They might pull a shocker on you. I mean, they were down 28-3 and almost exercised that demon.
Almost. 17 in the fourth quarter.
Almost. I mean, had it not been for Jalen Ramsey just saying, nope, not going to happen on my watch.
Not today. I have heard all of these things about me, and I'm getting pretty tired of it.
Exactly. He came up with the big interception at the end of the game to seal it for the LA Rams. But the Rams had a 28-3 lead, and the Falcons came back and had a chance.
They had a chance, and this is a team that cannot get to a quarterback to save their lives.
No, but we knew that coming in.
But did you walk away from this feeling any kind of way about the Rams? There is something very disjointed about that team. They can't run to save their lives.
Yeah, and I think it all comes down to the offensive line again. Like, we're finding out that the teams that we thought were going to be really good aren't as good, and why are they not as good? Because their offensive lines are just not there. You got the LA Rams, and, you know, they lost a lot. Granted, one of them ended up with the Carolina Panthers, and they're not good either. But still, Cincinnati Bengals, offensive line's the problem. Pittsburgh Steelers got good weapons, don't have an offensive line, you're a bad team. By no means am I saying that the LA Rams are a bad team, because they're still very good, and they're going to win a lot of games. But it's not going to be as easy as it was last year. Cooper Kupp's out there doing superhuman things still, and you're struggling.
And I'm going to say something that I don't in any way. You don't want somebody to get hurt. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
The worst thing that happened to the Los Angeles Rams over this weekend is Trey Lance getting hurt. Because now in comes Jimmy Garoppolo. Trey Lance was the only thing holding that team back.
No doubt.
Did you notice there was just a completely different swagger about the Rams, or about the 49ers, the minute Jimmy G hit that field?
Because shocker of shockers, I know what I'm doing. I'm not just trying to figure it out.
And look, T's and P's to Trey Lance. He had the successful ankle surgery today. It was apparently pretty bad from everything I've heard.
Hopefully there's no long-term damage with that, and he'll be recovered and come back and be the guy.
And you want to see him come back next year, third year in the league. Still got plenty of time. I still feel fine about Trey Lance. But in terms of for the rest of the year, I look at this 49er team now. I think you're better than the Rams. I think you're better than the Rams. And I don't know that they can fix the problems that they have. The Rams have a very simple problem in this league. And you can say I'm saying this because I'm the draft guy. You cannot spit in the face of the draft forever and it not catch up to you. The Rams have, and now it's caught up to them. Because that is the thinnest roster I have ever seen in my life. They were playing Ben Skoranek at fullback yesterday, which, by the way, actually kind of worked. I think I like the 49ers better. And you're going to see it on a grand scale this week because they go to the Denver Broncos, a team that I am not impressed by, I haven't been, and I'm not going to be.
Yeah. I was way too high on Denver. And I think I had them fourth in that division with a losing record, and I still feel like I was wrong.
Somebody posted a picture of Russell Wilson in a chef's hat with the Let Russ Cook thing, and it was a bowl of cereal with 2 uncooked hot dogs in it. And that's how I'm starting to feel.
And a slice of American cheese on the side.
Yeah, that's how I'm starting to feel. But I just look at San Francisco now. I mean, yeah, you've got injury issues. I don't love that you don't have Elijah Mitchell. It's obviously a little disjointed. But as soon as Jimmy Garoppolo came in, all of a sudden, there's that team I tried to tell you that they were going to be. And having a vet leader with a chip on his shoulder with something to prove. Because you got to say it, Jimmy Garoppolo is now playing for the rest of his career.
Yes.
He's not as old as people seem to think he is.
27? 28?
He's 30.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's 30. He was an old rookie anyway. And he's been in the league 7 years? 8 years? He's playing for the next contract. So you're getting just the perfect storm of talented quarterback that everybody's written off. And if I'm a Rams fan, that's making me more and more nervous by the second.
But how do the Falcons keep doing it? Maybe, and I'm not going to say maybe, I'm going to take the maybe off of that, scratch that. The Saints were overrated by us, in my opinion.
I don't agree with you.
There's just – I had the question of Jameis. And if this is the Jameis that you're going to get, then –
Well, I mean, you had to know that. There's good Jameis, there's bad Jameis.
Yeah, but good Jameis better show up and show up consistently, or else this is not going to go your way. You're going to –
You'll be sitting on the sideline with a clipboard in your hand watching Andrew Dalton play quarterback for the Saints.
Yeah, and you're going to be watching the playoffs while, the Bucs are out here winning the division. I don't see a path where either of the other teams in the South are going to be better than New Orleans, even with bad Jameis.
No, but I mean, you asked how do the Falcons keep doing this. It's very simple. That's a difficult offense to game plan for. And I'm not saying it's good. I just need you to understand they came back from 28-3 down to the Rams, and Kyle Pitts had 2 catches for 19 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's the kid's name?
Drake London.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy that I said 500 times is going to be a dog in the NFL. And guess what? He is.
Mm-hmm.
He's every bit as good as I thought he was. I thought there would be some transition time because he didn't have a full camp. He got dinged up twice, I think. Came out yesterday. They threw 25 passes. 12 of them were thrown his way.
Mm-hmm.
If you sell out trying to stop Kyle Pitts, that's fine. I got somebody on the other side that can hurt you too.
Right. I think the Falcons.
And Arthur Smith's an innovative guy.
And
he's weird, he's kooky, and he's going to say things that are off-putting. I guess that's a nice way to say
off-putting.
Just Google it.
Oh.
He has said some weird stuff to the media.
Okay.
But that's a scrappy team that's going to be tough to deal with. I think the Rams are clearly the third best team in the NFC. Do you agree with me or not?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they're clearly the third best team in the NFC. Now, that could change because you do have weapons and stars and talent. But there better be a handshake deal with Odell Beckham Jr. Because you need that guy in your life really, really, really badly.
Yes, you do. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 inside the Ingles Studio, and always brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Coming up after the break, we'll get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, this week feels like summertime with the numbers cruising towards the upper 80s in the forecast by midweek. It's like we've stepped back to summertime, even though the official start to fall is coming up Thursday. 61 degrees our low tonight with 50s in the mountains. Sunshine Tuesday, warm afternoons, high 85 degrees. Wednesday, 87. That'll be the warmest day this week. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic very slow, 26 eastbound between the French Broad River to Long Shoals Road. A disabled vehicle has the right lane closed near Long Shoals Road. 26 westbound is stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound light delays between the 26-240 split and George's Branch Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Bavard Road northbound is slow approaching Clayton Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lee Binfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small businesses create bold signs to make big impressions. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 10/1. Visit staples.com/thisisyoursign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Doug. Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it!
There's an emu with a full-time job.
His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. Time to get weird. And gosh, I saw this story and I went, this is a no good, very bad thing. And here in Buncombe County, we're getting ready to go through this with our local school system choosing a new superintendent. Up in Spotsylvania, Virginia, there was a ruckus at the latest school board meeting where the board voted 4-3 to make a contract offer to a man named Mark Taylor to be their next superintendent. Not only did they vote to make the offer, but the offer is also for $245,000 plus moving expenses and a provision that guarantees more than 3 years of pay if he is to be fired after he gets the job, and if he gets the job. So the board voted, but this was after they received a letter from the guy's daughter. Now, they have a bad relationship. They have not spoken in a couple of years. But when the daughter found out that Mr. Taylor was being considered for the superintendent job at Spotsylvania County Schools or whatever, she sent them a letter and said, I just want you to know that this guy homeschooled me and I'm dumb. Essentially is what she said. There were massive holes in my education. He has zero background in education at all. And lo and behold, turns out that he and the board chairman are friends. And still, after hearing all of the discussion and all of the debate, that this guy has no background and the only person that he's ever actually educated feels like she's dumb because of him, they still voted 4-3 to offer him a $245,000 contract with 3 years of guaranteed salary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is what corruption looks like, and we can only hope that it doesn't go that way when we have to make that decision for our local school system real soon.
You often hear the terms emergency and AAA in the same sentence. Usually it involves some kind of auto accident.
Yes.
As AAA is the person that comes and changes tires and things like that.
I got to get the tow.
Well, my story has this as well, but it's not about AAA, the car service. It's AAA, the battery. Because a woman in Dublin swallowed 46 of them.
Why?
Apparently this is a unusual but medically acknowledged form of self-harm because batteries apparently do horrible things to you if you ingest them.
Absolutely. They corrode and that you don't want
well,
that in there.
They don't necessarily hang around that long. You're going to have to use your imagination on that one. But she consumed so many that it actually weighed her stomach over some vital organs and caused some serious pain, at which time she had to go into a hospital They x-rayed her, and they found 46 batteries.
Oh, my gosh.
Double and triple A's.
I mean, yeah, because, it's hard to get down C's and D's.
Correct.
Unlike my report card.
Also correct. Now, once they got in there, they actually had to cut her open to get these out. Once they got in there, they determined that there were actually 55 of them. There were some hidden behind others, and the x-ray didn't reveal that. And 4 more of them had to be allowed to take their course.
Oh, no, they couldn't get them.
They couldn't get them out. So they had to
pass naturally. Yee.
Don't eat batteries.
Wow. That's awful. Why would you do that to yourself?
I have no idea.
They have a whole TV show
about
this
weird things
that my wife watches. It's like weird stuff I eat.
Yeah, I saw one that eats hair, and I went, okay, first of all, that is without a doubt the most repulsive thing I've ever seen. Hair mortifies me.
The one that made and it just made that chill go up my spine thinking about it. This one woman ate chalk, like sidewalk chalk, and she's like sitting there on the interview just eating it like a carrot. Oh. Yikes. You talk about nails on a chalkboard. That's worse.
It's not good.
Chalk on your teeth.
It's a no good, very bad thing. Don't do that.
Yeah,
eat food. There's a lot of good food. Like a lovely Mexican pizza, which is what I had for lunch, because they're back for good, forever. Never taken away from us ever again.
Oh, how did you find one where it wasn't sold out?
They're back.
Oh.
They have replenished them. Now, according to their website, every Taco Bell will have a Mexican pizza if you go in there, and I did.
I was going to say, the last few times I've gone by there and seen the sign that says Mexican pizza sold out, and I'm like, that is crap, because you told me you were bringing it back, and how have you sold out of them? What are you, Popeyes?
They have brought it back, and it is wonderful.
What was not wonderful yesterday in the NFL? Trey Lance.
That was not wonderful.
That was awful.
Yeah, that was.
You hate to ever see a guy get hurt, but especially a guy who just hasn't. He hadn't been able to catch a break.
There is a possibility that we're going to go into next year with the 2021 class of quarterbacks where you only feel good about one of them. There is look, Trevor Lawrence, if you need another reminder of how good of a prospect he was, just go back and watch that tape from yesterday, because he was real good. But Zach Wilson, we don't know what that is. I know Joe Flacco has come in, and it was only one game, but he looked as though to be competent, and the weapons look good. If Zach Wilson comes out and is terrible, you're gonna remember that.
Yep.
Trey Lance, he will have 4 starts under his belt total. Going into your 3rd year. After the 3rd year is where you start getting contract extensions. Justin Fields, every bit the train wreck I told you it was going to be.
Right.
And then Mac Jones.
Who's here?
He's alive. I can't really say much else nice about that.
Brian Hoyer. He's Brian Hoyer.
I would have said Colt McCoy, but okay.
That's who he is.
He's the definition of a game manager quarterback.
Right.
That's what he is. And you look around. First of all, I want to write a letter to the league that says they will never give me another Patriots-Steelers game until one of them has a quarterback that doesn't turn it into 60 minutes of eye broccoli.
Right.
Because that's what that was.
Oh, it's awful. Absolutely awful.
I would rather watch a colonoscopy on C-SPAN than have to endure another Patriots-Steelers just gross yuck fest.
Why would C-SPAN be showing a colonoscopy?
I don't know. I went Mad Libs, okay? I had already mentally said what the act was going to be, and I had to come up with a television channel.
Gotcha.
I've never watched C-SPAN, so I don't know what they do. Politics
stuff, yeah.
That's why I've never watched it.
It's like the live feeds of the House floor and stuff like that. It's awful.
I'm not sure that I wouldn't rather watch the Patriots and the Steelers than that.
Yeah, I think you would.
I don't.
As somebody who used to have to watch it for his job, yeah, you want to watch anything other than C-SPAN.
Ugh. Ugh. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's not good. Nobody wants to see
But that's one thing that you have to know. We've had a lot of comments in the YouTube comments where we were talking about the Panthers, and you're just be bad, get the number one pick. And a lot of what I was being asked was, how do you feel better about C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young and Will Levis and a slew of other guys? It's all a projection.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is.
We're guessing.
C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young are both slight quarterbacks, but they're very bright, and they have all the athletic talent in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's the draft.
They have
Some teams are better at this than others.
They have everything that Baker Mayfield doesn't have.
Yes. All of them are, talent-wise, what you were sold Baker Mayfield was.
Yes. Clearly, you will be better with the quarterback.
But unlike Baker Mayfield, they don't have the talent of your local insurance agent.
Mm-hmm. What is the benefit of being good? What is the benefit of winning a couple of games just to make you happy? It's the one time you will ever hear me say this.
Oh, I mean, the New York Jets do not have Trevor Lawrence. Instead, we have Zach Wilson because we went to L.A. and beat the Rams.
Indeed.
Woo! You know how long that win felt good? About 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
There was also a thought that I needed to teach a class on how to pull for a perennially pooey team. Yeah, I can teach. I'll give you advice. Domestic light.
I was getting ready to say. That's going to be his answer.
Yeah.
That's going to be his answer, 100%.
Not hard to figure out.
Jeremy Greene, single-handedly turning the next generation into alcoholics. Yay. Don't do that.
I mean.
Don't do that.
Not like me.
That's crimes.
You got to be built different.
You don't encourage that amongst children. That's crimes.
I didn't say anything about children. You did. Now you did crimes.
Oh.
I said pulling for a perennially bad team.
Well, I mean, the adults all know how to do that. That's something we've all figured out.
You actually think that, and yet there will be fans of teams that get really excited for some Week 14 win. You do realize you didn't want that to happen, right? Wasn't good for you.
Mm-hmm. It feels good in the moment, though. It does feel good in the moment to go, we can actually do that.
Oh, I mean, yesterday was fantastic. I mean, yesterday felt like a warm embrace, a mother's love, just all of and it felt so good. Mm-hmm. And it's been so long since I felt that. We had lost 15 September games in a row.
Yep.
I get it.
Yep. This all started talking about Trey Lance. Trey Lance with the broken ankle, had to have surgery this morning. Surgery went well, but he's not going to be back the rest of the year.
No.
This is exactly what I was afraid of. Not that Trey Lance was going to get hurt, but that Trey Lance was going to be bad. And if anything had continued like the Chicago game, then this is why you kept Jimmy G. This is, I mean, thank God no other team in the league just offered the farm to get Jimmy Garoppolo, because this might be the best fortune that John Lynch has ever stumbled into.
Well, I mean, and that happens sometimes. It happens sometimes that you have a guy that you wanted to move on from, and he ends up, nobody wants him for whatever reason, whether it's money, fit, and now here you are.
Mm-hmm.
If you had moved him, think about how bad you would be looking at the 49ers right now.
I want to laugh
Do you
at all
know the other quarterback on the roster?
Right. Oh, on the San Francisco roster? No.
It's Brock Purdy.
Okay.
That's the
Mr.
backup
Irrelevant.
Now.
Nice.
That's the
I was
other
thinking, I immediately went to C.J. Beathard, and he's not there anymore.
Mm-mm.
So, San Francisco is in a great place today, despite the gruesome injury and the sadness that you will feel for not having, for not seeing the coming of your number 3 draft pick from last year. Nobody's happy, but we kind of are.
You're not. I mean, you're not. You never say that about it. In terms of
Not
your
about
outlook,
Trey,
in
but
terms of
what's
your
going
outlook for
forward.
the season,
Right.
You were the first team to have a serious injury to a quarterback, and you were the most positioned to get through that.
Absolutely.
And now I look at San Francisco, and the defense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Take away that first week. I need you to understand, the Seahawks ran 14 times yesterday for 36 yards. Their long run was from here to the other side of the studio.
But it is the Seahawks.
I don't care who it is. It's an NFL team that you just absolutely imposed your will on.
Sure.
In a game where your starting quarterback got hurt, and that tends to be a deflating time. You don't usually see teams play that well when their quarterback goes down.
Right. I mean, this was a special case because the guy that came in was the guy that they've ridden in the saddle with for the last 3 years. So it's a little bit of a different case. But before we go saying that they're the best team in the NFC West, that they're better than the LA Rams, don't you need to see them do it against somebody else?
I mean, that's kind of what we do. It's projection.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody can watch something and go, well, see, the Rams won the Super Bowl. Obviously, they're the best team. That would put us out of a job because there wouldn't be a lot for us to talk about.
I get it, but
I look at the 49ers now, and that team is better put together than the Rams are. And with Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think you're going to miss a beat.
Mm-hmm. I, in fact, think it'll be better. It'll be better than what you would have seen.
It doesn't have the same high upside, but it is much safer.
Mm-hmm. Much safer. It was the one question I had was how's Trey going to develop? Because I know you can put Jimmy in there and be a contender today. Well, fate just handed that back to the San Francisco 49ers. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. The Baltimore Ravens, they did not do great things against the Miami Dolphins yesterday. Well, they did great things, and then there weren't great things. We'll talk about Tua and the Dolphins next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow. 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound is stop and go east of Brevard Road to Long Shoals Road. Earlier disabled vehicle near Long Shoals Road has cleared. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Brevard Road northbound very busy approaching Clayton Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small businesses create bold signs to make big impressions. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 10/1. Visit staples.com/thisisyoursign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
You can't get much for $5 these days. Unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for just $5. You got that bag. You got that Biggie Bag. You got that bag. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Got chronic joint pain but want to avoid steroids and surgery? Take some advice from pro football legend Emmitt Smith. Call QC Kinetics.
Let QC Kinetics help you improve your quality of life with biologic therapies that get your body to repair and restore damaged tissue.
These exciting new regenerative treatments from local medical professionals can help your body heal itself with lasting pain relief.
Trust me, you want to avoid surgery if you can. Check out these biologic treatments to see what your options are.
QC Kinetics, restorative regenerative solutions with no downtime, no surgery, no drugs.
I'm talking about joint pain we all can relate to in your knees, your shoulders, your hips, and your lower back. They'll get you feeling good again.
Get relief now.
What are you waiting on? Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
Yesterday was chock full of big comebacks. You had Jeremy's Jets pulling out the big comeback victory, scoring twice in the last, minute and a half?
Minute 55.
Jets, Jets! Getting the win over the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, you had Miami Dolphins out there doing Tua Tagovailoa throwing for almost 500 yards and 6 touchdowns and getting it done, scoring 28 points in the fourth quarter to come back and beat the Baltimore Ravens. All great. The Arizona Cardinals comeback against the Las Vegas Raiders, I think, might have been just as surprising as the Dolphins comeback on the Ravens.
I cannot wrap my head around what I saw. By the way, James Conner is bad at football. And since we're talking about the Cardinals, I needed to say that out loud. He got out-touched by 2 other running backs. Benjamin and Darrell Williams had more touches than he did.
Right. The Arizona Cardinals, though, I mean, you're gonna have when you have an amazing athlete as your quarterback, you're going to have pop moments like this. We have seen Kyler do it before. The big Hail Mary throw a couple of years ago to DeAndre Hopkins, and we've seen this game script before, of where he's too much to handle. The Raiders, though,
they look very out of sorts.
They cowered in the moment.
They look very out of sorts. If you had told me going into yesterday that Devontae Adams would have 2 catches for 12 yards against that dog water secondary, I would have sworn you were out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But it just looks disjointed. And the defense got the lead, and I don't know what exactly that was. The old saying of you play prevent that prevents you from winning.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't actually what the Raiders were doing, but I could have been fooled if I wasn't paying better attention. It looks weird. The offense looks weird. The offensive line is not good.
Mm-hmm. But it was just the defensive line, like they weren't getting pressure.
Chandler Jones and Max Crosby were completely irrelevant.
Yeah, they could not get home. The Cardinals were blocking for once. And look, I don't like Kyler. He's not one of my favorite players in the entire league. But you got to give the kid props.
And now you're set up for potentially, we're foreshadowing a little bit, Tennessee Titans play the Buffalo Bills tonight in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Secret time, we're all on the Bills. There's a possibility that you're going to be looking at a Nashville, Tennessee, 1 o'clock on Sunday, Las Vegas Raiders, Tennessee Titans, and the loser's season is borderline over.
Mm-hmm.
You start 0-3. I don't remember the exact stat, but I think there have been 4 teams that have started 0-3 in the last 10 years that wound up making the playoffs. And this schedule for the Raiders is ugly enough that you better not.
Mm-hmm.
You better not. You better find a way to win this, or this is going to look unsettling quickly.
Oh, absolutely. And considering the Josh McDaniel factor I'm not saying there's anything he's done or anything he didn't do.
I'll say there's something he did.
I don't know. That's not on me to say. But what I am saying is the look is not good. I had my questions about this hiring anyway after the Denver thing.
That was I'm not going to say error. It was just the thing that you had to know. Josh McDaniels is one of those coaches that the pressure ratchets up. because everybody has a feeling about him.
Mm-hmm.
The years with Bill, the way it went in Denver, even the way it went as the OC with the Rams. People have an opinion about Josh McDaniels, and you're giving them a lot of reason to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do with this team. I believe in the talent completely. But there's going to have to be a buy-in at some point, and the defense does not seem to have it. They looked completely lost in the fourth quarter.
And it's not that they don't have the players.
No.
I mean, I've always felt like the secondary is suspect, so it's not too far for me to believe that Kyler Murray went out there and did special things and took advantage of the secondary. Plus the fact that you got Moorings hurt and all of that. Like, everything has to be taken into account here. But again, this is just one of those things. Are you the same old Raiders?
The unsettling thing for me, and this is going to be really myopic, and I'm not specifically talking about the fumble. When Josh McDaniels got this job, one of the things that really made me buy into the fit was how well Hunter Renfrow would play in this system. He has been bad. You grade him out just watching the tape. I'm not going to say he doesn't know the playbook. He fits what they do so well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he had some catches, but there are times he looks either lost or disinterested. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two. And offensively, there are times that they're hard to watch. After they got the lead, the first half was great. A different team came out in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And now it took roughly a quarter for the Cardinals to start scoring. But look at the 2-point conversion. Kyler retreats to the 30-yard line and scored.
Yep.
And then you did it again. Almost verbatim the same play. It just wasn't as over the top. He didn't go that far back.
You feel markedly different about the Raiders after that loss?
Not markedly yet. You lose to Tennessee, and I'm scared.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Stock up, stock down. Who did the best over the weekend? Who did the worst? Daily Draft is coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, this week feels like summertime with the numbers cruising towards the upper 80s in the forecast by midweek. It's like we've stepped back to summertime, even though the official start to fall is coming up Thursday. 61 degrees our low tonight with 50s in the mountains. Sunshine Tuesday, warm afternoons, high 85 degrees. Wednesday, 87. That'll be the warmest day this week. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow. 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound is stop and go east of Brevard Road to Long Shoals Road. Earlier disabled vehicle near Long Shoals Road has cleared. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Brevard Road northbound very busy approaching Clayton Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Try Wendy's new Homestyle French Toast Sticks today. Wendy's new Homestyle French Toast Sticks are so good, some are saying they're better than their mom's French toast. Perfectly crispy on the outside, perfectly fluffy on the inside, perfectly perfect in every way. Try Wendy's new Homestyle French Toast Sticks today and see if they're better than your mom's.
It's hurricane season. Flood insurance can help you avoid paying out of pocket for costly damage. It's time to trust your instincts, get flood insurance, and protect the life you've built. Visit floodsmart.gov. Sponsored by FEMA.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeartRadio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The NFL suspended Buccaneers receiver Mike Evans one game for his role in yesterday's altercation with Saints corner Marshawn Lattimore. He's not eligible to return until after Sunday's game versus Green Bay. ESPN's reporting Evans does plan to appeal his suspension. A statement today from the 49ers. Quarterback Trey Lance underwent successful surgery on his broken right ankle. The season-ending injury has a massive impact for Lance and the Niners, notes ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler.
It sets back a development plan that the 49ers had for what they believe is their franchise quarterback. So now he's going to go into year 3 having just a few starts under his belt. 2 this year, played minimal football last year as a rookie, and then, he obviously had the small sample size in college at North Dakota State.
Jeremy Fowler on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Jimmy Garoppolo starts in Lance's absence. Browns defensive end Jadeveon Clowney out Thursday night against the Steelers because of an ankle injury. Police in Las Vegas say they're investigating allegations a fan in the stands struck Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray in the face with an open hand amid celebrations of Arizona's OT win over the Raiders.
Brought to you by Capital One Auto Navigator, where you can find a car, get pre-qualified instantly, and see your real monthly payment without impacting your credit score. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/Auto Navigator.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You can hear the Sportsocracy everywhere. Take us with you everywhere you go on the Iheartradio app for absolutely free. Check us out on YouTube as well. You can see our lovely faces as we spout our nonsense here every 3 hours in the Ingles studio. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat, vote on polls and all kinds of things, and get all the alerts when we go live. So the daily draft today is the same as it's always going to be on Mondays after a football weekend. Stock up, stock down. Who did good over the weekend? Who took a hit over the weekend? And Jeremy, you going to go first?
I feel like since
you can take your Jets?
Well, I had Miami and Texas A&M. I had Troy and App State in the daily draft on.
Which was the game of the weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I'd had Florida State, Louisville, I would have clean sweep the best games of the weekend. So I feel like I should get them one pick.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not actually taking my Jets because I don't think you'll do it. B, yeah, you got to win, but I don't necessarily feel different about this team. I like what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Still think you're a 6-win team. I feel better about the AFC East on the whole, minus the Patriots. I feel a little better about it.
Okay.
The winner of the weekend, the stock-up winner of the weekend, is Tua Tagovailoa, and I don't think it's all that close.
I can't disagree. He was on my list. I wouldn't have taken him number 1. But
I can't actually see anybody that trended in a better direction than him.
Right.
And by the way, I'm going Tua, not the Dolphins.
Yeah. Player-wise in the NFL, you're absolutely correct. There's no bigger winner than Tua Tagovailoa. 469 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, leads the improbable comeback, the impossible comeback against the Baltimore Ravens in that vaunted secondary, though a little banged up. I get it.
And notice, yet again, I did not say the Miami Dolphins because something I have yet to hear anybody say all day, and I can't really figure out why. Your defense, it leaves a lot to be desired. Xavier Howard was not a great day for you, my friend. Tua Tagovailoa is my first pick.
Yeah. We can score a lot of points. Defense doesn't really matter in the NFL these days anyways, does it? Obviously. Joking. My overall winner of the week, it is not from the NFL. It's from college football. And it's none other than the Appalachian State Mountaineers, baby. Look, I know that you should not have been in a close game with Troy. After you beat number 6 team in the country in their house on the road last week, this was supposed to be a cakewalk. Troy's a tough team, though. Troy, look, they're a good Sun Belt team, and you couldn't expect. You should not have expected that App was just going to roll over every opponent that they have. They only have like 3 opponents in the Sun Belt anyway that should be close to them and give them fits. Troy's a scrappy team. Now, the way they won was amazing. And for that to happen after game day was there and Luke Combs showed up to be the guest picker, which, by the way, I wasn't aware that we're at the stage with Luke Combs and his celebrity that we're airport watching now.
Oh, no doubt.
Like Luke Combs is landing. I did not realize that.
Oh, he's the biggest musical act in the country.
Good for him.
Any genre. He is the biggest musical act in the country.
I just feel like if it had been Garth Brooks, I don't know that we'd have been airplane watching.
Yeah, because Garth Brooks was relevant like 15 years ago.
I mean, he's still selling out in massive stadiums.
Yeah, with songs that he did when I was 7 years old.
Well, that's fine.
Luke's putting out new stuff now.
He is. And congratulations to Luke as well, because I did not know you were that big of a celebrity these days.
Oh, no doubt.
But I thought all of it was fantastic. Game day was a winner by going there. Appalachian State got so many new recruits.
Oh, no doubt.
Because of that. I mean, they made you fall in love.
Just to understand, you were this close.
Right.
You were a miracle from, oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. And Troy's not good.
It was not good.
Yeah, I don't know what Troy you're talking about. That Troy Trojan team, they're not good.
Scrappy.
Not really. Boat raced repeatedly over the last 3 years.
Appalachian State is my overall winner of the weekend. I'm going to go with another college football. And it's the basketball schools. I am dumbfounded at the basketball schools, man. I get they're not playing the toughest competition, maybe. But right now, you have all of the blue bloods in college basketball are undefeated in football. Kansas, Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, Syracuse, UCLA, and Indiana all undefeated. Good for you. It's not going to last long. This will be the last time I get to say it. But the 7 heritage basketball programs are winning football games.
And I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I did have Kansas upsetting Houston. Jalen Daniels is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the quarterback at Kansas, dual threat kid. He is special. Do you happen to know who Kansas plays this week?
Oklahoma.
It's Duke.
Oh, Duke.
It's Duke in Lawrence, Kansas. Kansas could be 4-0.
They need to have game day there.
They're not. Game day's going to Knoxville for Tennessee, Florida, which is, by the way, the right call.
That is the right call, but still.
It would have given you an excuse to go to Lawrence, Kansas.
They should do 2. They should do 2 setups.
And that's not going to happen.
Why not? Send a dummy stage out there with Jay Billis and I don't know who else is on the basketball broadcast. I know Reese Davis is going to be doing the football, but send somebody else out there.
Yeah, it's not that good.
It'd be a good shtick.
It's not that good.
Those guys aren't doing anything right now anyway.
No.
Right. Jay Billis, live from Duke, Kansas. Come on, ESPN.
My biggest loser of the week, and we've already largely talked about this, It's an entire division in the NFL. It's the AFC North.
The North.
That was real bad. 2 of you lost games that really are hard for me to understand, how the Ravens and the Browns, who, by the way, both had 98% or better chances to win these games.
Yes.
And you still lost.
Cincinnati had that before they even went to Dallas.
I would have said they had 200%, but that's why they play the games.
Exactly.
I'm going to have another loser, and I straight up called my shot that I was going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
The Miami Hurricanes. The Miami Hurricanes went into College Station and looked horrid. Just absolutely terrible. Tyler Van Dyke, his stock has taken a bloodletting.
Mm-hmm. After the
from
Southern
people
Miss
that I've
game.
talked to.
Yeah. I know it hurts your heart to say that.
Oh, it kills me so much.
All right, let's go loser of the week, because I don't feel like it's even all that close. The loser of the week in the NFL. I get you had a whole division, but I got a whole team full of suckitude that I don't know where it came from. It's the Indianapolis Colts.
That's not a bad one.
I mean, for real? Like, week one, I gave you a little bit of a break because, Texas, the Houston Texans are a scrappy team. They've got some okay things. You played bad, but those things happen. You come out and you went to Jacksonville after everybody's talking about you can't win in Jacksonville. You went in there and got shut out for the third time in 4 years.
You also had 9 first downs.
24-0. Jacksonville just took you to the woodshed, and now the Colts are sitting back going, what are we even doing right now? I'm surprised Jim Irsay has not, in a drunken stupor, fired Frank Reich.
I'm dumbfounded that Jonathan Taylor had 10 touches in this game.
How does that even happen?
I have absolutely no idea.
He had like 5 in the first half.
That is the most open division in the NFL. Tennessee Titans. You know what? I railed on you. I railed on you in the offseason. You didn't necessarily have the weapons. I thought Indianapolis was better than you. I got news for you. They're not. But Jacksonville might be.
Mm-hmm.
That was impressive from Jacksonville.
All right, my last winner of the week. I got to take the Detroit Lions. I mean, finally, you paid it off. Like, this was the moment where I said Detroit's going to step up and win a game, and they didn't just win a game. They made the Commies look ridiculous. The Washington Commanders looked bad yesterday, and the Detroit Lions just took it to them.
They showed a lot of resiliency in the second half. You and I saw a very different game there.
This is the kind of game that can spark the revolution that Dan Campbell seeks in the Motor City.
That Washington offense in the second half showed a lot of resolve. You went in at the break down 22-0. This could have been a slaughter.
Could have been.
And it was not. Carson Wentz, better than you think. I am going to double down on what you said.
Okay.
I can't have the Colts because you took them. I can have the quarterback-coach combination of Frank Reich and Matt Ryan because the two of you look like you don't belong in this league.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot get beat that badly by a team that's that young. Frank Reich's inability to get the ball to Jonathan Taylor, and just Matt Ryan looks awful. Genuinely awful. Baker Mayfield level bad. And if you look at QBR, they're down there together. I am awestruck by how bad that actually was.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? You call me a homer. Because my team had just a fantastic win this weekend. And so with my final selection before the undrafted free agent, I am going to take my Florida State Seminoles. Let's go, baby! Jordan Travis goes down, gets hurt, T's and P's. Apparently, it's not as bad as it looked. And I was going to say this, name's on the door, I'm allowed to. When the Louisville faithful started cheering with Jordan Travis down, I don't know that I've wanted to win a game that badly in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed every second of it. Florida State's not back by any stretch of the imagination. But that was an entertaining game that you had every excuse to lose. Lost your best pass rusher, lost your starting quarterback. You found a way to pull it out on the road. I have thrown a lot of shade at Mike Norvell. That is the kind of win that turns programs.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything went against you. Malik Cunningham was special. You could have lost. Nobody would have slighted you. But the fact you were able to pull out a win shows me that I think something has turned there. Not telling you they're a contender, not telling you they're going to beat Clemson, NC State, any of those things. I'm not saying that. But that is the kind of win that a Nebraska would just kill for.
Jeremy loves to go #no homer. He just absolutely loves it. But I'm going homer too. I'm going homer with mine because my last one is worst of the weekend, and it's Todd Bowles. Like, I guess I was just too far behind. I wanted to believe. That things would be different, that this wouldn't be Todd Bowles with the New York Jets all over again. But the thing that I have seen so far with these Tampa Bay Buccaneers, no one looks interested. No one cares. No, Tom Brady's out here pitching fits worse than he usually does, because let's be honest, he's done that forever.
There is something boiling beneath the surface there that I cannot put my finger on, but I'm telling you right now, I don't buy Todd Bowles is going to be able to fix it.
Yeah. I mean, you got Mike Evans out here doing stupid stuff like getting kicked out of the game and suspended and all of this. The running game is just not working. The offensive scheme is bad. Todd Bowles, like I said, when I'm looking at the screen going, I want my old coach to just walk over there and tell him to sit down and shut up and take it back.
And the Bruce Arians thing is weird.
Oh, yeah.
That is weird that he is on the sideline. That is a bad sign, and I don't care what anybody says.
Yep. All right, it's UDFA time. All right, yeah, go ahead and do yours.
Oh, mine's the Jets, Jets.
Oh, and hashtag no homer.
And Robert Saleh.
The
fact that you showed that kind of resiliency in a game that you could have just laid down and died, you know what? I have to. I am a firm believer in no homer. That was a great win for a franchise that needed a great win. That's their first win in September in 16 games. This is the first time this team has been 500 or better in 4 years.
I didn't think there was a chance that we were going to take the same guy there, or the same entity there. So, hashtag no homer. It's the Georgia Bulldogs. Look, I get South Carolina sucks.
Gracious.
No, hear me out. I get South Carolina is not good at football. But I don't think that I've ever seen a team climb quicker to the number one team in the country, just no doubt. The defense is as terrifying as last year's. And I don't know that they're going to lose a game.
Probably not. But that South Carolina game shouldn't tell you anything. Spencer Rattler is horrible. South Carolina fans, I tried to tell you. In the YouTube comments, several people are saying that we don't dog, or that we dog the West Coast. Washington, impressive win against Michigan State. Washington, I have undervalued Washington. That team is rather talented. The Jimmy Lake era is in the past, and Kalen DeBoer has come in. I'm telling you, that's the only team I see in the Pac-12 that I think can hang with USC. They were very impressive.
I got the offensive game plan for it, that's for sure. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, 26 eastbound slow between Brevard Road and the French Broad River. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road, moving from Sandhill Road to Pond Road, delays near the North Carolina Arboretum, Brevard Road north and southbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound. Drive time 16 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, and everyone has an opinion. So I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. Go to getvaccineanswers.org for the latest information. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingles, We know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
So, raise your hand if you had Amon-Ra St. Brown in fantasy football yesterday.
I did.
Wow. I mean, he is unstoppable. He has now become, I mean, fantasy football players, that's the thing that's going to win you your league this year. I mean, if you had a contending team already and you grabbed him in the 8th, 9th round, that's a winner.
He was also the leading rusher on the team, just to be clear.
Yes.
Not only did he have 9 catches for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns, he also had 2 carries for 68 yards.
He's so good. This offense is terrifying.
The offense is very good, and I'll be honest with you, and I say this because he's a local guy, but he also deserves his flowers. Reynolds Rocket alumni Ben Johnson calling this offense is special. They lost all 3 interior offensive linemen, either going into the game or at some point yesterday. You had 2 backup guards, and you just absolutely took it to Washington. And I would not have thought that Detroit could win a game where Jared Goff was just average.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the defense was enough of a negative that he would have to be L.A. Ram Jared Goff for them to win games. That team's really talented.
And when the tide started to turn in the second half and the Commanders finally started getting something going, sustaining drives and scoring points, you did the one thing that you had to do. You had to buckle down.
Mm-hmm.
And you did. That was the best part about it, was because that's the one thing they've been missing. The one thing they've been missing is that killer instinct. And yesterday they showed you that they've got it.
Absolutely. Now, I see a lot of people that are very down on Washington, and, Washington was so bad. I could not disagree with you more if I tried. You go down 22-0 on the road, if you show life, that needs to at least be mentioned.
Yes.
The fact you turned this into a competitive game where there was actually a thought they could come back and win this, that tells me everything I need to know about you. That offense is pretty good.
Yes.
Carson Wentz is not getting nearly the love that he deserves for what he has been able to do with Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin. Antonio Gibson was not.
He wasn't good yesterday.
He was not great yesterday. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to 100% mean it. I'm not coming off of this because of one game. Washington is better than the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't think it's all that close.
Mm-hmm.
But they beat the Bengals. I don't care. I do not in any way care. And you play in 2 weeks in Jerry World, and I don't think I've ever liked a dog more than I will like Washington 2 weeks from now without seeing the line.
Right.
I do not care. I know they are going to be a dog, and I am going to be all over Washington. Dallas Cowboys are the worst team in that division. I don't care what anybody says.
I don't think it's all that close.
I don't either. I do not either.
Cowboy fans want to get all excited about beating the Bengals, but the Bengals have problems. But maybe there's something. Maybe they've found that spark of where our backs are against the wall and everybody's on edge, and maybe the Cowboys will figure out how to win some games. They're not going to win that division.
No.
Not by any stretch.
No, there are a lot of L's coming in the offing. The Cowboys' next 4 games are at the Giants, the Commanders, at the Rams, at the Eagles. This is like a water ride at an amusement park. You will get beat. You may get slaughtered.
Yesterday, true or false, yesterday was a game that the Detroit Lions of the past would have lost.
No doubt.
No doubt. When you have the 20-point lead or 22-point lead, whatever it was, and then the other team comes back and makes a game out of it, you're fading into the distance.
There is a reason that people believe in Dan Campbell the way they do, because he is setting a tempo around that team, and Ben Johnson just carries it out. And I haven't done the deep dive on all the games yet, but I've looked at small things from each game. The way that line played yesterday, Detroit is going to be a handful. And I'm talking week in, week out. This is not going to be, we get the Lions. Yeah, you get the Lions. Just understand, they scored as prodigiously as they did yesterday, and DJ Chark was borderline irrelevant. And you get Jameson Williams back in November. Good luck.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Coming up after the break, more of all of the action of the NFL yesterday, and because we still got to talk about the Indianapolis Colts at some point, and the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, this week feels like summertime with the numbers cruising towards the upper 80s in the forecast by midweek. It's like we've stepped back to summertime, even though the official start to fall is coming up Thursday. 61 degrees our low tonight with 50s in the mountains. Sunshine Tuesday, warm afternoons, high 85 degrees. Wednesday, 87. That'll be the warmest day this week. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, 26 eastbound slow between Brevard Road and the French Broad River. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road, moving from Sandhill Road to Pond Road, delays near the North Carolina Arboretum, Brevard Road north and southbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Checking the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound. Drive time 16 minutes. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
Hi, this is Jay Glazer, and you may know me from shows like the NFL on Fox, HBO's Ballers. But what you may not know is for my entire life, I have lived in something I refer to as the gray. Depression, anxiety, and ADD. So now I'm coming out with a new podcast, Unbreakable, a mental health podcast where we talk about mental health. I hope to describe it so we can have this conversation and walk this walk together. Listen to Unbreakable with Jay Glazer on the Iheartradio app or wherever you get your podcast.
The Iheartradio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for our grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com. or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville and on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. Time for the most important message of the day, and it's don't do crimes. And some hardened criminals have been brought to justice, or at least they're in custody in the Middle East. This comes to us from the Jerusalem Post. A crime ring that has made tens of millions of shekels on their illegal trade has finally been brought down. These hardened criminals, they weren't running drugs. They weren't selling illegal booze. They were selling illegal chickens. Yeah. Now, what is an illegal chicken? Can a chicken really be illegal, you say, Tank? Yes. Well, if you're raising chickens, slaughtering them, then bribing all of the businesses around town to go behind the government's back and buy your chickens and never pay taxes on them, that's illegal. That's crimes. That's much the same as moonshining and all that kind of stuff. If you're making profits off of that, you're supposed to be paying taxes. Look, I don't know that the bringing down the illegal chicken trade is really going to make much of a difference on the betterment of the world. But still, how do you run an organization that large without anybody ever noticing? Don't do crimes.
The perpetrator in my story also did crimes. He's a 33-year-old man. He drives a Ford F-250 pickup truck. Well, at 6:20 earlier this month, this is about 2 weeks ago, he was on the Roseville Parkway in the suburbs of Sacramento, California. Well, he rear-ended a BMW sedan. The BMW's driver was taken to the hospital with injuries that were considered to not be life-threatening. It's not a crazy serious wreck. Well, as police began investigating the damage, they realized that there was a strange impression on the back of the BMW. The truck had driven away, so they hit the person and then went, uh-oh, and drove off. Well, they left the impression of their license plate on the back of the BMW, because in California, they have license plates on the front. Hit them so hard that the transverse of their license plate was on the rear of the BMW. So it didn't take that long for them to find the owner, the 33-year-old man who is not named in this story, and arrested him on suspicion of felony driving under the influence causing injury, felony hit and run, and resisting arrest. They also discovered that the same truck had been reported for driving recklessly multiple times. Stupid criminals. You drive off, but you basically left your calling card on the back of the car. Don't do crimes.
What are those license plates made out of?
Well, I mean, it's just raised.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like I don't. You couldn't do that with like North Carolina license plates.
Well, no, because they're sunk in on the back. In California, they're on the front.
Right, but I'm saying even if you had one, I wouldn't imagine that it would do that.
You can absolutely do that.
That thing would bend in half, I would think.
No.
Never leave an impression on the back
I mean, it's
of a
on
car
the.
like
you also got to remember it's on the bumper of an F-250, so it's got a chrome bumper on the backside of it.
Okay.
You got a lot to impress it into the plastic bumper of a BMW.
I guess. I did put the Ford symbol in the back of somebody's car one time, so that smacked right into the back of it. It was a perfect little oval for the Ford symbol on that truck. Right in the back of their Dodge Neon. I won that battle, by the way. You can't put a steel blue 1986 Ford F-150 up against a little Dodge Neon and have it survive to tail the tail. Oh, man, football was great yesterday.
The NFL slate was phenomenal.
Saturday?
Not as great.
Not as great. I mean, I watched a lot. You had my eyeballs all day long, but it was a whole lot of going. I mean, I felt like that meme of the dude with the stick just
do something.
I mean, like I'm poking my television going, switching channels, make something happen, please.
It was brutally bad.
It was.
I caught a few bad beats. Texas, San Antonio, Roadrunners. Bloop, bloop. You were the right side of that number for an extended period of time. And then you weren't.
Mm-hmm.
And then you weren't. But good for Texas A&M. Hey, you got a win in the Gross Bowl.
Yeah. Beating Miami, obviously, that was a game you couldn't lose.
That is two really undisciplined teams. Just really painfully undisciplined. But Max Johnson getting a win, our buddy Brad Johnson's son.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jimbo, glad you figured that out 2 games too late.
Should have figured that out last week. You may not have lost in such embarrassing fashion to Appalachian State. Still good for Appalachian State, but how do you not change quarterbacks?
I have absolutely no idea.
It makes absolutely zero sense.
Oregon showed themselves quite well. Just absolutely bullied BYU.
Bo Nix. Where did Bo Nix come from?
Bo Nix at home.
He has those games.
And they're always at home.
Yes.
Bo Nix on the road, horrible. Apparently he has like a posturepedic bed or something that if you get him away and he doesn't get his CPs the way he's supposed to, he is awful.
Right.
But good for Oregon. I'm still a little bitter that somehow my Florida State Seminoles did not find a way into the top 25.
I mean, do you deserve it?
Does Miami deserve to still be in the poll? Because I'm going to say no. You could have lost to Southern Miss, and you got just pushed around by Texas A&M.
Yeah, but you know why. It's that whole preseason ranking thing. We're not ready to push them out.
Florida, who could very easily have lost to South Florida, who can't throw.
Mm-hmm. That team looks so much worse than I thought they did like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no doubt. And now, if you're a Gator fan, I hate to break this to you, but now you have to come to Rocky Top with a team that does not like you and is astronomically better than you are. I mean, astronomically better than you are.
Anthony Richardson, it was cute.
It
was cute while it lasted.
There were almost two just cataclysmic upsets in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, South Florida had the ball going in to win it with a minute to go.
Yep.
Just so happened that, well, you get sacked and then kickers do what kickers do and miss field goals.
Mm-hmm.
The other one would have been almost unequivocally the funniest story in the years I've been doing this. Arkansas almost allowed Bobby Petrino and Missouri State to come into Fayetteville and beat them.
Yeah.
They had the lead with 8 minutes to go. Didn't end their way.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have been just unfathomably bad.
I don't know what to make of it. When these things happen. It's like, how did you do that? I mean, I know it's Missouri State, and you're just screw it. You know, we're looking ahead to next week. Well, let's just go out here and play and not get anybody hurt. We need to be ready for the SEC run. But then you just come out and almost and just look bad.
You allowed them to throw for 357 yards
right.
on you.
You just look bad doing it, and it's game after game that I see things like that happen, and I really respect it when you have one team out there that's just not getting caught. And it's the number one team in the country. The more and more I watch that team and watch the way Kirby is just orchestrating on the sidelines, I don't know who's going to beat them.
Alabama.
I mean, Alabama. Okay,
that's the big scary bear in the closet.
Of course it is.
I mean, that's
they're
where you're at.
They're still the mountaintop to get over. But I mean, would you be shocked to see Alabama come out and be, timid and ineffective like they were against Texas, against that Georgia team?
No. Well, yes, I would be shocked.
You would be shocked.
They have you circled. I have not seen this the same way you have. I am actually more impressed with Alabama than I am with you.
Why?
Because you've beaten nobody. You beat Oregon, who I do not find to be very good.
That's fine.
That's nothing. I mean, you're splitting hairs, but you're just over the moon because you beat South Carolina.
No,
South Carolina is a horrible team.
I understand.
They are horrible.
I understand.
And Spencer Rattler, I can't emphasize this enough. The fact he has convinced 2 separate programs, you're the guy, is dumbfounding to me. There is a team in the top 10 that I want to talk about.
Okay.
And I don't know what more you're going to need to see. The sheer fact that Cade Klubnik is not the starting quarterback at Clemson at this point, it's getting to do you just not see it, or what is it? They were up 13-6 on Louisiana Tech at halftime.
It's stubbornness.
And I need you to understand, that's not a good team. That's not a good team in their own conference, let alone playing a Power 5 Clemson team in Clemson. The offense is just not good.
No.
And they put up a bunch of style points in the second half, but I don't care. Do you realize what the next 4 games on their schedule are?
What?
At Wake Forest, NC State, at Boston College, at Florida State. And this is going to sound crazy when I say it, and I'm not telling you it's going to happen. I could see them losing 3 of those games.
I was going to say, no chance they're losing to Boston College.
No, Boston College is bad.
Yeah.
Poor Phil Jakovic. T's and P's for Phil Jakovic's draft stock.
Right.
I could see you losing to Wake Forest, NC State, or Florida State. Because I got news for you. They're better than you offensively, and it is not all that close.
It's Dabo. I mean, it's just Dabo's stubbornness and loyalty to a fault.
And maybe that's it.
He is. He is super loyal to a kid that he promised is going to be our next guy. And it hasn't gone well, and he's just not ready to admit it because we're still winning games. For now, you are.
For now, you are. But the schedule turns this week.
I mean, that defense is incredible, but you better hope that you can just make Sam Hartman completely irrelevant. Because
and this is a difficult offense to deal with.
Absolutely.
They run something that you are not going to see anybody else do.
Absolutely. And if you don't, and if you allow them to score 28 points in that game, you lose. Flat out. They get to 28 points, you're done. Because I don't think you can do it.
Well, I mean, this is the first time you're playing a team that I actually think can hang with you offensively. So far, you've beaten Georgia Tech, Furman, and Louisiana Tech. And guess what? They've scored more points than they should for your defense to be as good as it is. I have a legitimate worry about Clemson. Now, could they come out and run the table here? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't think it's doing you any favors that you're catching this in the bulk of your schedule as opposed to the end. Because at some point, you're going to have to figure out how to move the ball. The first half against Louisiana Tech was unwatchable. It was mind-boggling how disjointed that offense looked. And this is the time every week where I have to point out that USC is real good.
T's and P's to Jake Hayner as well.
Yeah, that didn't quite go your way.
Yeah, no, I mean, he gets hurt in the game, and they were never going to hang with him anyway.
I mean, they're down 14-0 before he got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, USC has and I don't really know how to quantify this, they have the best turnover luck I think I've ever seen. Things just randomly happen. Horribly covered. And you throw one behind a guy that's just wide open. Randomly fumbling when no one touched you. I've now seen them do that 3 times. I have not seen them make a great defensive play yet, and I think they have 11 turnovers.
Yeah. And I guess that's why they're not getting as much love as they should. That they're getting.
Just wait.
I mean, it's coming. It's no doubt coming. Once they start beating Pac-12 teams,
And they're not just going to beat teams. They're going to annihilate you. That offense is terrifying.
How bad do they beat Arizona State?
506.
Right. Right. And
Arizona State, who's already fired Herm Edwards.
Right. Herm Edwards is gone, and apparently that's going to get real
It's
ugly.
going to get ugly. I mean, ugly.
The NCAA is going to be all over them. But yeah, I mean, USC, once they start dogging conference teams, they'll start catching on.
It's Oregon State this week. Oregon State's undefeated. Now, they beat that Fresno State team that USC just beat. I could see a path that they beat them 52-6. And that's where you sit back and go, this is different.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have playmakers at every level. Now, I mean, they're going to allow you to score points. But that offense I'll give you an example. If USC played Clemson right now, I swear to you, I think they'd beat them by 30. I don't think they would just beat. I could honestly see USC embarrassing you.
Yeah.
Because you can't hang with them. All right, well, our defense is really physically imposing. Great. You better have 5 corners. And, I mean, I'm talking really elite-level corners because they do not put a playmaker on the field that's not going to play in the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So you have one hole in that defense, they're going to exploit it. And you have no shot of scoring with them. None. That USC national championship ticket I have is, it's feeling still a little risky, but it feels pretty good.
Really? That high hopes?
I don't know how you're supposed to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fourth receiver on this team would start on practically every team in America. Their fourth receiver would be the best receiver in Alabama, who is number 2 in the country.
Right.
And just dominates people.
Then he'd also be the number 1 receiver for Georgia.
Absolutely.
By a mile.
Well, unless you count tight ends, because you have like 17 of those.
Yeah, we don't count tight ends because that is how Stetson makes his money.
And now something that has to be said, great win by Penn State. I mean, I don't buy Auburn. I never have. But that was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a team that's not fun to deal with
either.
Either.
There and hurt their feelings.
Brian Harsin, the next one, get fired?
Yeah.
I can't see how it's not him.
Yeah. I mean, after the AD already quit, stepped down, yeah, I feel like it's coming pretty soon. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Drive is slow, 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 on the eastbound side, light delays between Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. Near Eagle Village, Stardust Road moving from Sandhill Road to Pond Road is slow. Near the North Carolina Arboretum, Brevard Road north and southbound stop and go between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound very busy between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
The can't-miss music event of the year is finally here.
Our 2022 Iheartradio Music Festival.
Featuring once-in-a-lifetime performances from the biggest superstars.
Live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas this Friday and Saturday night, starting at 10 p.m.
Watch on the CW app and CWTV.com and listen on iHeartRadio.
Capital One is the proud partner of the iHeartRadio Music Festival for the 6th year in a row, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Don't miss Golf Shop Radio.
Better sleep gives you the energy you need to spend more time doing the things you love. Your sleep equipment helps you manage your sleep disorder and live a more active life, but it only works if you use it. Sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning, and SoClean is a helpful complement to your daily routine. Join over 2 million SoClean customers enjoying peace of mind. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Find out more at SoClean.com. Always follow the manufacturer's instruction. Free payment required for risk-free trial. For contraindications and details, visit SoClean.com.
Thank you for calling Navy Federal Credit Union. How can I help you?
Hi, if I'm in the Army, not in the Navy, am I still eligible for membership?
Yes, you are.
What about my sister in the Air Force?
Her too.
And my dad's a Marine.
We serve all branches of the military, veterans, and their families.
My dog is a retired military working dog.
I'll see what I can do.
Find out if you're eligible at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com. It's a doubleheader night in the NFL. Buffalo Bills at home taking on the Tennessee Titans. Philadelphia Eagles host the Minnesota Vikings. One of these is difficult for me to pick. One of them is not. Buffalo's the best team in the NFL. And I feel like they're, especially early in the season, really out to prove something. With no Gabe Davis, I will say I tend to think one of the slot guys is going to have a really good game. I just don't know who. And with no Christian Fulton, it makes me like it even better. So I got 50 on the Buffalo Bills minus the 10. I have this game finishing about 27-14. I do think Tennessee will hang around. I would say this is probably a late cover. Late touchdown covers the number. 50 on it, Bills minus the 10. 25 on it, under the 47.5. That number is too high. This is going to be more sludgy, ground and pound. I think Tennessee tries to keep everything in front of them. Don't give up big plays to Stephon Diggs. Game stays close for longer, but under 47.5. And then in the other game, the Eagles are a 3-point favorite. Over-under is 49.5. I got 50 on it, Eagles minus the 3. I like Minnesota. I do. I think the offense is really good. I could see a path that tonight you see a legitimate NFL offense, not the disjointed mess that was the Green Bay Packers, showing some holes in that defense. I don't necessarily think they're going to boat race them. I think Philadelphia will comfortably win this game, and you'll walk away going, all right, is Minnesota as good as we thought they were, or is Philadelphia just that good? So I got 50 on it. Eagles minus the 3, and I'm going 25 on it over the 49.5.
And you can take those wagers to betus.com. Use the promo code SPORTSOCRACY when you set up your account, and whatever you put into your account, that deposit, use the Sportsocracy promo code, and they will give you a 125% deposit bonus.
And somebody, I don't know who it was, and I don't know what the game was, somebody on Saturday just hit a big old biggin.
Yeah.
Somebody hit a parlay, and that's all I know is that it was a parlay ticket. Congratulations to you, whoever you were.
You again, use that promo code SPORTSOCRACY. Get the 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put into your account, and they'll do that up to $2,500. So you can get a lot of money.
A lot of free plays, a lot of money to enjoy the football season with betus.com.
Yes, indeed. Monday Night Football tonight. Yes, Kirk Cousins in prime time. We've heard it. We've heard it. Do you honestly believe that he's going to show up and look bad tonight?
I do.
Really?
I do. I like that Philadelphia defense a lot. They gave up a ton of points to Detroit. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is one of those national stage games where you try to set a tempo. Because you sat around all day and heard all the Dallas Cowboys, oh, we're still good with Cooper Rush. This is your opportunity to go, yeah, and you're not in our class.
Right.
Because this is a team that people do believe in. I also think there's something to the we could have had Justin Jefferson, and so we really make sure somebody else is who beats us.
But I mean, is James Bradbury good enough to shut down
by himself? No.
Justin Jefferson.
You double him all night long, and you make somebody other than him beat you. To me, Irv Smith, Adam Thielen, somebody, and Thielen's going to draw Darius Slay. That will probably be one-on-one all night long.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is going to have a prodigious night that's not Justin Jefferson. Could it be Dalvin Cook? Absolutely. But I look at that front for Philadelphia, I'm not so sure how well you're going to be able to run on that.
Well, I'm not going to be testing you between the guards. That's for sure.
No, not with Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox.
Not a chance. I'm keeping everything to the outside. I don't know how you're going to handle this running game from the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I get you went out and you made some adjustments on the defensive line to, shore up the problems that you had. But I just don't know. I mean, they seem unstoppable running the football.
And the thing you got to remember is that this is a new defensive scheme for Minnesota. And this is going to sound weird when I say it. It is harder to game plan for a Jalen Hurts than it is somebody that you see a lot. You knew exactly what Green Bay was going to try to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked bad. And I said this last week. I didn't worry about Green Bay. They showed last night. Probably no reason to worry about Green Bay. And I didn't jump up and down about Minnesota. So I think this is a tale of two games that Vegas put more into than I did.
Mm-hmm.
I like Philadelphia a lot tonight. Now, in the other game, Tennessee, this is your chance. You're on a national stage. I don't think there's any chance you're going to beat Buffalo because I don't think anybody's going to Buffalo and beating them.
No.
I cannot physically find a path that anybody goes up there and beats them in their house. It is going to be rabid in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can represent yourself well, keep this game close. One of those where you're down 3, Josh Allen scores late, we'll walk away and go, Tennessee might still be the best team in the AFC South.
Absolutely. This is another tough team. They've got a tough coach who coaches physicality, and they bring it to every opponent they have.
And I can't emphasize this enough. Tennessee has a really interesting habit of playing the best teams in the league really well and beating them,
mm-hmm.
and then losing to the Texans.
Right. I look for fantastic games tonight. We will be back with you tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock to recap all of the Monday night action and everything else going on in the NFL, because tomorrow is Tuesday, and it's Power Ranking Day. So we'll have a whole lot of fun right here at 3 tomorrow, back here in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville. We are the Sportsocracy, always brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Check them out at 629 Brevard Road.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, this week feels like summertime with the numbers cruising towards the upper 80s in the forecast by midweek. It's like we've stepped back to summertime, even though the official start to fall is coming up Thursday. 61 degrees our low tonight with 50s in the mountains. Sunshine Tuesday, warm afternoons, high 85 degrees. Wednesday, 87. That'll be the warmest day this week. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road. Delays near the NC Arboretum. Brevard Road northbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, slow. Sweeten Creek Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Iheartradio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for a grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
the Sportsocracy.
You are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.